This episode is brought to you by Mom's Chancla. Do you have chores to do? Do you have bills to pay? Do you have a podcast to record but don't feel like doing it? Well, YMCA is just right for you. Just one serving of your Mom's Chancla will get you right back on track and remind you who's boss. Your mom. Order now will include a serving of your dad's belt for free. Order YMCA today because all we are missing is your A.
What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by Del Hocico. Do you wish you could tell that annoying coworker to fuck off, or tell that certain family member to shut the fuck up without facing the consequences? Well, Del Hocico is just right for you. This extract from the I don't give a fuckabus plant is completely organic and environmentally safe. One spray of this and you'll be enjoying the sweet nothings coming out of people's mouths that annoy you the most. Hey, Rob, I don't think you should... Hey, Rob, how about you? Act now and get this one ounce bottle for only $59.99. Just go to telecico.com, code Puras Pendejadas to save absolutely nothing at all. That code, Puras Pendejadas, and watch the magic work. Thank me later.
All right, mic check.
Just to see how we're...
You got it? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You
Cool.
guys sound good or what?
I can hear him good, yeah.
You guys look good.
Here, let me see. Does that sound better like this? Or if we talk like that, is that...
I
I
mean,
mean-
closer is better, but that's why, like, if you guys want to swivel it,
Okay, we'll
there you
swivel
go.
it. Yeah,
Like that?
That's what we'll do. I'll just go like this. Back
Yeah.
and forth.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that'll
sounds
work.
good. And I'll edit all this shit in, whatever. All right, guys. So today we have a few special guests. You guys might know them. I would say local celebrities, entrepreneurs, all that good stuff. Definitely a good influence on this whole podcasting thing here in the city. Please help me welcome Chris and Misa from Conversing with Chris and Misa.
Yo.
What it do?
What is up, guys?
What's up, man?
Hey, man. First of all, like, it's weird because I started. Let me start off talking about myself. I started doing this whole podcasting thing because I wanted to help a local artist out. He had a podcast. Shout out to Papa Bear. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
Papa Bear.
Yeah, he had a podcast going on, and I had found him through the music, and I was like, oh shit, that's cool. So I started watching his podcast, and then he stopped. And then when he stopped, I reached out to him. I was like, hey man, like, what's up with the podcast or whatever? And he's like, it costs money. You know, if you want to do something, you have to chip in and stuff like that. And I was like, damn. And at that point, I'm kind of familiar with like recording and shit. So I told him like, hey man, I can help you out if you want, just let me know. And he's like, all right, cool, for sure. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, oh fuck. So I started doing my homework, YouTube, how to do your own podcast and all that other shit. And then I found you guys. I was like, oh shit, what is this? So I went down the rabbit hole at the time. I think it was like a year ago, something like that. And I was like, oh shit, man. So that's how I discovered you guys.
That's fucking cool, dude. Somebody went through a rabbit hole and found us.
Yeah.
So-
Dude, you know what? I'm just happy YouTube's doing their fucking job and getting us out there, bro. You know what I mean?
Shout
Like,
out to the fucking algorithm,
right,
man.
because I always wonder, like, are people actually seeing it? Like, are people that we don't know actually seeing this? Because it's one thing when we're sharing the links with people we know.
Right.
But our thing was always like, how do we get people that we don't know at all to see our podcast,
Yeah, and in the city. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you, like,
Local, right?
you know what I mean? It just, like, fell into, like, well, it didn't fall into my hands because I was searching or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's like, broop, you know what I mean? It's like,
Chris,
perfect.
dude, Rob was literally digging and he found treasure.
For real, man. And it's like, I don't want to call myself like a super fan because I don't want to build this shit up either. But it's like during this whole like building shit, you know what I mean? Let alone the music stuff or whatever.
Right.
But just like building anything, it's like, it's cool to see someone doing it too. And just like the consistency you guys have is like so awesome, man. It's like again and again and again and fuck it again. And it's like, wow, man, it's like it inspires. You know what I mean?
Right, dude. And it's funny you say that. And real fast, dude, let me crack a beer because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I do on the
Go ahead.
podcast. And we got to bring those values over here. But number one, dude, thank you for having us too, because
Hey, man.
I was telling Misa, like, we don't ever really get, like, we do like hundreds of interviews. Like, we've literally done hundreds of interviews, and we never really have, like, we have another person that reached out for us for a podcast, but this is more of a podcast that's just about like us, really.
Yeah.
And like, thank you for letting us be on here, man, because that's something like that we've always wanted. And I know I speak for myself, but I know Misa, you could probably say the same thing, right?
Dude, definitely. I mean, seeing this from coming in, like we started off in his garage as well.
Yeah.
You know, like
cool.
doing it together and stuff. So we know how hard it is, and now that we've met so many people,
Yeah.
like you kind of want to also be on the other side of the table sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's cool, especially because we know that there's so many podcasts out here in El
Yeah.
Paso. So it's always pretty badass for somebody to invite us over. And dude, like Chris said, man, thanks a lot.
Nah,
Appreciate
dude,
it.
it's my pleasure, and I kind of wanted to like approach it differently too, cause it's like I'm pretty sure you guys get like hit up all the time, like, hey, can I get on your show? Can I get on your show? And it's like, well, how about you guys come on mine? You know what I mean? Like just
Right. Totally different, dude. Right.
you know what I
there.
mean? Just different, because I feel like I feel like I kind of know you guys.
Right. In
from-
a weird way, right?
Yeah, it's
Right.
weird, but at the same time, it's also like, well, you guys have probably answered questions that I have, but I just haven't seen them. You know what I mean? It's just like let me. So
Let's
this is
flip
like
the
more
tables
selfish.
here. Yeah,
Like this
yeah.
episode is for me. Fuck these people.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but what's cool, dude, is that like, and you mentioned it earlier, is that like, you kind of start like with what you have. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Misa mentioned, like, the first podcast episodes that I recorded were on my iPhone using like the shitty wired headphones. Like, you know
wow.
what I mean? But at that time, I didn't know any better. But I was also influenced by my cousin Patrick. Shout out to him. Him and his guys, they were doing their own podcast. It's called The Middle's Open, and I got super inspired by them, man. And I was like, there's no reason that like if me and him want to do a podcast, or me and anyone,
Yeah.
that we can't do it, you know. And that's kind of like what got the ball rolling for me, because I had always said like this is something I wanted to do, but I always pushed it back. I always put it off.
Yeah.
And then I saw these guys, and he's like, dude, just download the Anchor app. That was like the best thing he ever said to me, like straight up, just like through text, like download the Anchor app, man, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
And literally that's what I did, dude. And that's how it like all just started. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I've learned like this time around, right? Like I don't want to talk too much about me, but like just so they can connect the dots, right? Like I've been trying in and out of this whole music thing or whatever. This time around, like the journey that I'm on now, I'm like for sure. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm like making a conscious effort. Like, how do we do this? How do we do that? You know, how do you create your own? You know,
The main part about it is that you're actually doing it. You're physically actually doing it. Because
Yeah.
like Chris said, like he's always had an idea of like wanting to do a podcast. I never really thought about podcasts. I mean, I listened to Joe Rogan podcast pretty
Yeah.
much, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was when he invited me to be on as a guest on episode 13, I just fell in love with it. Like right after that, I was like,
Yeah.
man, I want to do it again. And that's the thing. The thing is you just have to try it. You know, like it's you were telling us earlier too the story that like you were doing rapping, or you still do some rapping. That's exactly what Chris was, man.
Yeah.
Chris had a whole like rapping career, you know, and dude,
shit.
and obviously it didn't work out, but nah, but I mean it's you know like similar words, dude.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the thing. That's what I've learned. Like, you know, to go back to what I was saying is, like now, I'm I'm looking for like to complete something. You know what I mean? Like even if it's just little baby steps, like one song, start it and finish it. A project, start it and finish it. An idea, start it and an episode. Right? That's how I started with it. I just started practicing. I had my daughter's on the first episode, and we're just like, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right.
Right.
You talk. Let me hear you. Okay. All right. What do you want to talk about? You know, and it's just like that. But we started it and we finished it, and then I did the whole post production thing, posted it, created the channel, everything, and then it was completed. You know what I mean? And I think you have to get into that rhythm of
you progress.
yeah, like you did it complete. Now you got to do it again. Now
Yeah.
do it again.
And how can you do it better from the last
Exactly.
time that you did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, man, this is funny. When
right before going into Chris's when he invited me for episode 13,
Yeah.
I had to look him up, and see what, how it was about. And it's funny, man. You should listen to episode, what, 2 or 1.5?
1.5.
One and a half. Listen to it.
Shit.
There's a few dark episodes out there. So there's some episodes out there that are not. Well, they're on Anchor. If you're following us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Yeah.
every single episode from episode 0 is on there.
Yeah.
But on our YouTube channel, I think we only go back to like
When we started videotaping, right?
yeah, like until we started taping because I didn't want to upload a bunch of fucking still images with just an audio track that's an hour and a half long.
Yeah. Well, that's what this is. So
Right, but it like after a while, like no, but like okay, so like no, but the thing is too is that like we didn't have a YouTube channel because of that reason. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So like
okay.
our thing was all
No me
audio.
dolió, entonces no me dolió.
Like it was all audio only. Like we had not even considered shooting the actual podcast.
Gotcha.
And then I think like it came from some of the homies that listened were like, yo, y'all should film this. And like, I think it would be better. And that's what like ended up happening. But at first, like, yeah, like it was just,
It was more like a radio feel.
right. It was kind of like a radio
Right.
feel. Like we would literally just huddle around like one central microphone
Right.
and just like kind of talk and just like banter really. But like our thing too was like, we just wanted to actually like put things out and we wanted to just start interviewing people. So we were like, why not start with our friends? You know what I mean? That was the easiest route for us.
And that's so cool that you guys, again, going back to you just start. It's going to come out like shit. It's going to sound like dog shit. Just start. That's why, like, from the first episode till now, it's like,
Bro.
I left it all on there.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Hold on. Yeah. And I kind of got lost in that, but Misa has a story of like one of the first episodes. Tell him the story.
No, hold on. Let me set this up the right way. I'm telling you, I'm all over the place. So I'm going to let them know your like, where they can find you, Misa. Or
okay,
Chris.
so they can find all like every one of our podcast episodes. If you're looking for the entire catalog, is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any audio platform. We're on there.
Okay.
We're also on YouTube, but we, like I said, we only go back to like I think episode 29 on YouTube.
Okay.
But we have over 120 episodes on YouTube, full video that you can watch. They drop right now. We're dropping 2 times a week, so that's where we're at. But if you want to go back like to this story we're about to tell, you have to be on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But they're there. You guys can check them out. Socials at Conversing with Chris and Misa on Instagram, at Conversing with Chris and Misa, the YouTube channel. We're at over 500 subs. If you can definitely sub to us, that'd be great. And then Facebook, Conversing with Chris and Misa, TikTok, Chris and Misa podcast on TikTok. And that's about it. We don't do no Twitter. We don't do Snap really. But other than that, I want Misa to tell this story because it's absolutely hilarious. And it gives people a sense of what it's like to do a podcast when you don't know how to do a podcast.
Oh yeah, and then I'll link all your shit in the description.
Appreciate it. And if anybody wants to follow my page on IG, it's Misalshisha2.
Dude, when I found you on fucking Instagram, dude. Oh man, so I found you guys, and I want to get to the story, but I found you guys on YouTube, and I was like, are these guys on Instagram? And then I found you guys. And then I found yours. I was like, mi salchicha. I was like, oh man, I literally laughed out loud. Dude, un pendejo ahí solo. I'm like,
that's the thing, you know what? And that whole Misa Shisha, like, I mean, my name is Misael, right? So for short, it's Misa.
Yeah.
So I mean, growing up, everybody was like Misa, and I'll turn around Misa Shisha, or I'll turn around Misa Horny, you know, like
shit, dude. It's
but
a setup.
the type of person that I am, I'm a very comedic person. Like I took that shit and I laughed, you know. So like I used that for the longest time as well. But the thing is why there's a number 2 is because I had made an account and you can still find it, and I fucking forgot the password and all that shit to it.
That's great. That was one of my questions too. Like, why is there a 2?
Yeah, it's because I changed, man. I'm a different man, bro.
Okay. We've all abandoned the social media.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man.
The password is lost somewhere in the abyss. Of like 2 phones ago and shit.
Ex-girlfriend's name.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you guys could also follow Chris if you like at Conversing with Chris.
Okay, cool. And I'll make sure I look all your shit up and put it in the description because you guys need, like, everybody needs to know that you guys are going on. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's a big deal because I see it and I'm like, holy shit, like I see the progress, and I'm like, these guys, like, I'm lucky that you guys are here, because a few years from now, you guys would be like, excuse me, what?
Nah.
Get a hold of my
We
manager.
appreciate it, but I mean, we talk about it all the time, man. We like to bring up like how we said how you know we're in a garage. We started in a garage as well, you know.
Yeah.
And then at one point, like it got too cold, you know, or it got too hot, so we would go into his room, and his room isn't all that big. We were literally in a corner, probably smaller than that corner that you have right there, you know. So it was, we totally understand, and we bring that up often, just, you know, because we also
Yeah.
like to see the progress. We also like to humble ourselves and be like, damn,
Yeah.
you know. So when we have this opportunity, you hit us up.
Yeah.
We're like, dude, and Chris was like, yeah, man, he's doing it off his garage, like how we started. I was like, dude, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know, like, and nah, I don't think, I mean, if anything, it'll probably be because we'll be too busy doing stuff, you know. But I mean, to reject somebody, something like that, and probably be too many. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we have that.
Hopefully you're turning down
account,
people
you
left
know?
and right.
But yeah, it's crazy, but it's good. Like, and I was thinking right now, man, like, if you're just starting right now, bro, you're better off than what, you know, how we started. Definitely, dude. I mean, from his phone to one mic.
Yeah, dude.
You know, like,
and,
so.
And it's just like trial and error, the audio on like the beginning ones, like I said, like crap.
So
But I
wait,
made
so you
sure
recorded some and then like you never posted them? You should listen to them and then like
Nah,
you should
I
never
posted
did
all of
anything.
them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's good. But also you have to watch out with that, and that's what I was gonna get, because when Chris started this shit, right? And then I started looking them up. So I go through episode 1. They were like 30 minutes, 20 minutes long. It was more like a blog. It was a little kind of like, oh, dude, I don't care what the fuck you ate for breakfast. You know? And then like I listened to the second one, dude, and I could tell like, yo, why is Chris sound a little different right now? You know, and like, and next thing you know, it's because he's pounding beers, bro. And this guy was slobbering his words the whole time. Did you guys ended up ordering pizza in one of these? Like they had to stop. Like you would
Shit.
think like we would like now like it's not okay for us to like, you know, something loud happens, like we you know, we'd probably edit that out.
See,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
But Chris,
yeah.
fuck no. Do you hear that guy give him a tip and shit and like,
Oh, really?
thanks, bro. You know, and like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's crazy.
shit like that. But it's
Yeah,
funny, dude.
And I think it's just trial and error. You know what I mean? Because of that, now you know, like, oh shit, let me. But no, I did it more for like, cause I had learned through the music way first to like, you know what, you have to be transparent. People want to see your growth. You know what I mean? One of like my partner in this whole music thing, his name's Accurate, right? My producer. Shout out to Accurate. I tell him,
Shout out.
I tell him all the time, like, we have to continue to be putting in these deposits, because people are going to discover us at a certain point in time, and then they're going to go back. You know what I mean? Then when they go back, they're going to be like, oh shit. They have videos on YouTube. They have this, and he has a podcast, and they did a show, and they did that, and you know what I mean? So you just have to continuously put in deposits. Then leave it up to the people to discover you whenever. You can't control that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't control it. So just keep on going, and it's shit. I don't know why people would last the whole episode to, you know, my first ones and shit, but it's more so you could see the growth. Like if I could do it, that's like a big thing of mine. Like if I could do it, anybody can do it. You know what I mean?
We used to be excited when like we'd post like you know, our first episodes together, and we'd get like 30 views in like a week or something, and we'd be like, bro, fucking, that means like if we could get 30 people in a room, like that's a good fucking amount, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, well, fuck. I would say it wasn't even 30 views at first. It was like 12 views. It was like 13.
That's how I am right
like,
now, bro.
You know what I mean? And it was never, but like I always tell Misa, like it's not about the views.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's easy to be like, oh, let me look up this podcast, like whatever podcast, like Stephen Curry's podcast, millions of views, thousands of subscribers. But look at the platform he has.
Yeah.
Me and this dude, like we're just normal people. Like we literally like work 9 to 5s. Like we're both married. Like it's just us, like just doing this shit just because we wanted to, you know? So like I always tell him, like, dude, it's not about the views. Like, eventually it is, but like when you're starting, it's like if you're doing it for the views, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Exactly.
Because like at first, how do you expect 1,000 people to listen to you if you have 2 episodes of a fucking podcast and you're not a superstar or a celebrity? Like it doesn't make
Bro,
sense.
I wish I had titties, and I'm sure that I had 1,000
Yes,
fucking
that's
views.
a lot different. Like,
yeah, it's a cheat code.
right. That's a cheat code. And like, we don't have the cheat code like at this point, but like my thing is just like, if the views can't be all that matters, it's one thing is like, if you enjoy it And then if I get one person like a month that slides through our DMs and says like, yo, that pod was hilarious or this part was funny or anything, dude, I'm like, that's justifiable right there. That's all I need.
Yeah, and that's what it is. That's why I like maturing. You know what I mean? Because I'm not doing it for vanity. I'm not doing it because I need some likes, bro. I need some subscribe. I need some views. I need it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I like to learn shit because I could help people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now because I started doing it on myself so I could help that guy out. Then when the time came, he hit me up and I was like, let's do it, dude. And we recorded an episode, you know, but because of that, I found out that I kind of like doing this shit. This is another avenue, you know what I mean? It's fun. And I do it whenever I want too.
This is like every fucking Sunday afternoon with your buddies.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Well, not for me. I'm here by myself.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like, it's a good excuse to like just hang out. And then you just talk shit out and then people find out and they're like, hey, you're just like me. Oh shit, I talk bullshit too, you know?
Yeah.
Puras Pendejadas, you know? It's just like,
Puras Pendejadas.
yeah, so it's just like, oh shit, okay, cool. And then
Yeah.
just link up.
Hey,
and
you
then,
know what's funny, dude? Like I was telling actually Chewy, you know, my mom's a follower. She listens, but she doesn't really listen. And this one time she was mad at me, and she's all like, "Ah, you're getting too drunk, you know, because you're on that damn podcast, and you guys
Oh.
just talk puras pendejadas." And then you know, and then it made me think like, that's
Yeah.
a good podcast name right there.
Yeah, I mean, credit to my wife, man. She's the one. I was like, if I had a podcast, what would I name it?
And I mean, I mean, like, I think coming into it, Chris already kind of had an idea of like wanting to interview someone because there's podcasts, you know, like I follow Theo Vaughn and he does a lot of just by himself. You
Yeah.
know? And that's also very cool. But I mean, yeah, having a guest was, you know, a good idea. So that's what it was kind of always based off, you know, and then just kind of always thinking like, well, we start off like Chris said, we start off with our friends. He started off with his friends, you know, like I
Yeah.
was one of them, episode 13, and
Yeah.
then after that we started thinking, oh, let's get more friends, and then we just trying to think more like, okay, dude. Then at one point we're just gonna have to reach out to somebody, you know,
Yeah.
and we had this big board or a list, and we'd write down like, okay, who would we want? Who is very notable here in El Paso? You know, you go
Wow.
with Johnny Cage.
I
you
know,
you go
dude. What
with
the hell?
Chuck D. Broder. You go with like Buzz Adams. So we haven't had yet, but we will.
Yeah.
And you know, we should start making a list, and then so we started going like, well, what are we gonna do? And then when 2020 hit, we had this whole thing with like, shoot your shot 2020.
Oh,
You know,
fuck
and
it.
that's what it was. And Chris was fucking good at that shit. You know, like to a point where like I was so like I would hit up some people. And I wouldn't get a respond or anything. And I thought, like, do I sound too stupid, you know, trying to hit this guy? Or is he going to my fucking Misa shot too? And,
Yeah,
like, seeing all
este
my
güey qué?
stupid videos? And
Yeah.
este güey qué? You know,
Yeah,
like, yeah, like, puras pendejadas ahí también. And, yeah, and then so that's, I don't know, like, I think at some point you just have to, I told Chris, nah, bro, hit this guy up. And then Chris would hit it up. He's like, hey, yeah, he's down.
That's
you know,
great. You
so-
hearing that, Accurate? Me and Accurate are the same way. I reach out to people like for like, music or you know, interviewing on podcasts and stuff like that. And then same thing. I tell him like, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah, exactly. They say no. And just keep it going. And he's like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like, fuck it, dude. Like, I really want this. Like, whatever it is, like, I have a vision of what I want life to be. And, like, I'm not in it right now. But I'm like, if I do this and if I do over here and if I invest my time in all these little things, at a certain point, something has to pay off.
Hey, yeah, at the same time, it's like for those who ask, you know, shall receive.
Yeah, so it's
You know,
just like,
speak
fuck
up,
it.
you know?
Let me reach out, and I do not take it personal. Like, if you guys would have been like, nah, bro, all the way in the east side, I don't know, man. You know, fucking rush hour. And
That's the thing. Chris didn't tell me where we were going.
yeah.
He's like, hey, get in, dude. We're going somewhere for a podcast. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
Like,
shit.
4 hours later, now we get here.
Yeah, I know. I was
No,
like,
no,
oh,
no, no.
shit. So when you
he's-
guys said yes, I was like, fuck it.
He's 100% lying to you right there.
Nah.
'Cause, bro, all of our shit is so coordinated because we have to be. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, especially now we're dropping 2 episodes a week. Like,
that is crazy.
like we coordinate every hour of the day, almost like just like saying, hey, like what's up with this, you know? But like my thing too is like you have to like kind of believe in yourself in a way.
Fuck
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And like if you don't really like believe in yourself, like nobody else is going to, you know what I mean? But once you do, like, you'll see people you didn't even expect would be like, yo, I rock with like what you're doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what's crazy about it too. But when me and Misa started trying to interview people, like get different guests, like obviously in El Paso, there's a plethora of people to interview, bro. There's successful people all around us all the time.
Right.
You know, so like you just have to know where to look,
Mhm.
like who, like your avenues, like how to reach out to them. But social media is the key, dude. Like being able, I can slide in somebody's DMs and like hopefully within an hour or two they read the message, you know.
Mhm.
So my thing was just writing a good message, like saying, like getting to the point, not just like shooting like a message and being like, "Hey, bro, what's up?" Like, you know what I mean? And then they're like, "What, dude? What do you want?" And then you're like, "Oh, like, yeah, whatever." So my thing was like in one message, like, "Hey, this is who I am.
Mhm.
This is what I have.
Yeah.
This is what we do. Are you down to be on?" Just like that. Yes
Yeah.
or no. Like it just it's that simple. Like just that like clear cut communication. Like no beating around the bush. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
And to me, that like it worked because we started getting people like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'm down." People we never even thought. Like you know what I mean? Like Chuck the Broder at first. Like
That's crazy. Dude.
people, dude. And like we started getting people from the locomotives. Like just different people from different aspects in life.
I can't believe we've had
Right, we had a mayor on.
dude. Like out of everybody, we've had a mayor.
Wow,
Like
dude.
I don't know if that should have been legal for a mayor to be sitting across the table from us. But now that's the thing, man. That's the thing I love so much about our pod is just that like we're open to talk to anybody.
That's so cool,
Right.
man. And the environment you guys have, like, it's just like it's perfect, man. It's perfect. Like you add the video with it. It's like I'm hanging out with you guys. That's why like it's weird. You know what I mean? Like I finally got through that whole like meeting you, well, the anticipation, and then meeting you, and then now we're just on it now.
And we
You know?
appreciate it because you know what? Like also thinking about it, not a lot of people really know how, you know, all of our stuff goes or how it happens or how it even started.
Yeah,
You know, and
that's why you're here.
yeah, and that's yeah, we appreciate that, man. And because also thinking about it, like, shit, dude, almost 3 years doing this now, you know. And like you said, like I've, you know, reaching out to guests that like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna get this guy. You know, we've had Johnny Cage twice on already.
That
you
is
know?
fucking
like,
crazy, man.
and that's fucking badass, you know. And at the same time, I remember sending somebody, I'm not gonna say names, but I sent him a message and I was like, hey man, would you be down to be on? And this is when we were still in the garage, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something I should have waited on, but there's no waiting in this game. But he's all like, wait, you guys are doing it in the garage? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, nah, man, I wear a suit. I need to be somewhere where there's like AC on. You know, and it's like,
Say wait.
yeah, and I was like, but eventually we had him on though too. So
Oh shit.
yeah, so
I was about to say
but
fuck that guy. But no, never mind.
man. But I mean, the cool thing is like at least he answered, you know, and like you know, and the type of guy he is, and to even answer, you're like, fuck yeah, you know, and so you get people like that, and it's, I mean, it's like you said, the environment too that we set, like
Yeah.
off the bat, Chris had, you know, this idea of like, you know, popping the beer open, and
Yes,
and if
that's
you're
cool.
watching Pop One Open too, you know,
Yeah,
we've
hell
had
yeah, man.
friends send us videos of them popping a beer open while they're watching the episodes.
That's so cool.
So
man.
stuff like that is cool, man. I mean, it's rarely when we're able to talk about how the pod comes about, and like Chris said, man, we both have full-time jobs. You know, I have 2 kids and a wife. He's got a wife. He goes to school as well. He has school.
Oh.
So the whole thing about this is like that me and Chris noticed is just the drive. You gotta find, like, if you're gonna do it with someone or do it yourself, you just have to have the drive, you know, and actually do it. Everybody could dream and want to do what they do, but once you actually get up and do it, you know, have you seen that Shia LaBeouf guy? Like, just do it,
Yeah,
you know,
just
like you
fucking
just
do
like
it.
just fucking do it.
And then when you find
know?
a team, oh,
Yeah,
dude.
and that's the thing too, man. Like we've gone through
Dude.
some like, you know, producers and stuff, but
Yeah.
like I want to give a shout out to our boy Chewy who's here today. He's
Yeah,
our
yeah.
merch guy. He look him up. Next Gen Sports. You guys could look him up. Find him real quick.
Shout out to
He was
Chewy.
brought over, you know, by our boy Joe. But this guy actually became part of the pod, and because he saw how driven we were, how like it's not just like for fucking fun. It's so a certain point it's somewhat business, you know. Like
Yeah,
Chris
and-
said, every day
You could feel that energy.
we communicate and
Yeah.
stuff, and he liked that, and he added to it, and now
There you
like you
go.
know that added something even better to our pod, and that's what's so great about it, man. When you find some good people like that, dude.
Like, look when I can actually do this for you guys. And it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Right.
So That's fucking dope.
But yeah, to baby back to fucking what is that fucking baby back ribs?
Somebody's
To
hungry.
fuck, yeah, dude, I am honestly fathom right now, hungry as fuck. No, but like to go off what fucking Misa said, like,
Piggyback.
Piggyback. Like fucking, I was already like, I had those. I already had those fucking
He was
pigs
there.
on a fucking like platter, ready to eat and shit.
Oh, there's Applebee's too, right down the
Dude,
street.
fuck. I'm more of a Chili's guy, but I fuck with both. Anyways.
Oh shit.
Gotta let it be known, right
Right away.
away, yeah.
That rush hour traffic.
Restaurant,
Man.
he's like, nah, man, I'd
Dude,
rather-
Chili's, bro, fucking fire. But anyway, so like, one of the biggest elements of like putting something together, like to try to be successful, is like you have to have a team. And I realized that when we were rapping, me and my boy Sam, shout out my boy SGT, like it was literally just me and him, like literally just me and him, and like it was so hard to do, man, to make a beat, to fucking record a song, to put it together, to fucking get a feature. Like all that shit was so hard to do.
Yeah.
And like me and Sam were the only ones that were about it. Like at first we were rapping, there was like 5 or 6 of us in the studio, right?
Yeah.
At the very beginning when it was cool to start, you know?
Yeah.
But then after a while people started falling off. They weren't down to commit to like, all right, every fucking Friday, Saturday, we're going to be in the studio making songs.
Mm-hmm.
So it just ended up being me and him, dude. And that's literally like, it was just us two. And like where we went as a little rap duo was good. Like I'm happy about it. I show these guys the songs. Like I'm not ashamed about it.
They're actually
But
pretty good. I mean, I joke about it a lot, but these guys are actually.
Yeah, and
fucking
I've
good.
always been curious about that because I hear you guys.
yeah,
like,
we mention it. Yeah,
here
we
and there.
mentioned it. A lot of that shit I took down because like a lot of it is just like once we split and we just like me and Sam are still boys like always.
Yeah.
But at some point it was like we had to close the chapter on that.
Yeah.
So I took a lot of that shit down, but it is still out there. But anyways, like the point is that like going from a 2-person team to like now we have like 6 people that help
Wow.
work on the pod with us. Even 7 if I include my sister because she comes through and
She's part of the pod,
produces.
actually. Don't forget,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
She's on-
She just joined, right, or something like that.
So my sister used to live in Florida, but she's always been like our biggest fan of the pod.
Oh,
Like
that's
she's
cool.
always been like, yo, you got to do this. Like this is something you should do. And
Nice.
when she comes to visit, or like now she's here, like she's part of the team. The only thing that kept her like off the team was that she was fucking 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Might
like,
hurt a little.
right. So going from 2 people to having a team of 6,
Dope.
like that shit helps, dude. And then it also makes you realize like if everyone works towards the common goal, like you guys can accomplish so much.
Dude, that's what we're all about, dude. That's, we've discovered that, ourselves, and it's just really me and Accurate, you know what I mean? And we worked with artists here and there from the city and stuff like that, and it's so cool to see just you put in a little effort, like you said, work towards a common goal, and then you step back and you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Now imagine if we like joined like more, like imagine, but that's what we're trying to like get through right now is the whole like, no, we're not doing it for that. No, we're not doing it for that.
Yeah.
You're not cool with it, cool. I think the biggest, and I don't want to talk about like negative stuff, but like the biggest issue is like when people take it personal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Someone says no, or someone doesn't agree, or money. You know what I mean? Something comes up to where someone has to say no, then it's like, oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah, and
You know?
that actually that's the thing, man. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. We've had our arguments, like
I bet.
monthly. Well, one of us would be bothered about something, or like next thing you know, it's like a novela. There's like 2 against 3, and like, one guy's just watching and shit.
I don't know, Misa. I think you fucked up, man.
Yeah,
Should've been
and
talking
hey,
like
man, get the fuck off your phone, and hey, dude, you didn't do this, and hey, what the hell happened to that, and
Yeah.
or we want to do this, but this guy wants to do that, or
Sí,
no,
no sale que
like-
si es joto, güey.
yeah. But that's the thing, like it could be like maybe at some sense kind of personal
Yeah.
in that very moment for a little bit, but we get to a point where like we kind of just back off and then like cool off and then we move on from that, like, but at the
Yeah.
same time it also has to do of like the people that you have around. Like if those guys eventually know what the goal is at the end of the day,
Yeah.
then you'll be all right. Like all these arguments that we have, it's if anything, it's for the best for this pod, because then we talk it out,
Yeah.
And having fucking 5 dudes, 6 dudes, you know, like trying to work shit out, like
Yeah.
we bump heads sometimes, you know.
I
and like,
bet, dude.
and but at the same time, man, like I wouldn't change it, you know. Like all these guys are still coming, you know, like we said, like this week we're doing 3 days out of the week, you know, that has to do with pot stuff, you know. And not just that, but you know, keeping up with socials. You want to keep people involved with your socials. You want to
Yeah.
make sure that they at least go back and follow and your subscribers. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot, you know, and
Hell yeah.
there's a lot to take care of. So when you have people like Chewy, who's, you know, running our TikTok and making IG posts for us and stuff like that without being told to do it.
Yeah.
That's something that, you know, like he already has an idea of where we're going and what we want.
Yeah,
You
and,
know,
and
so when
you
you-
might not be feeling it that day, but then Chewy comes in and posts like the video you guys posted today. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah,
you guys
dude,
are watching the
that's
game.
all him.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
if you see that, maybe you were, you know, your day at work was like this, or the kids, or the wife,
Yeah.
whatever. You see that shit, like, oh shit, that's just dope, and it just like, whoop,
Yeah, bro.
it boosts you up,
kinda,
man.
Yeah, it kind of makes you look back and, you know, because sometimes, bro, and I don't know if Chris could probably say the same, but honestly, so many episodes now, and it's only like 156, 57 that we're at.
Dude, that shit is commendable.
Only, bro.
Well, I mean, I mean, because like Chris said, like you're used to like all the regular people like us. We go into the YouTube and shit, and we look up podcasts, and what do they show you? The most popular podcasts, right? So
Yeah.
you see people, you know, these podcasts, 100,000 views or whatever, and all this stuff. So when we get to that point, and you only have people have like 300 episodes. How many does Joe Rogan have? Over like
He has
3,000, 1,000. You know, like. But even then, man, I get to a point where like I can't remember when we had this person on, or like I'll be trying to make a thumbnail or help make a thumbnail, and I'm giving information to my buddy, and he's like, "Bro, that was 2 episodes ago."
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, you know,
Yeah.
like it's
Nah, no
good to
mames,
have people, man. It's good
yeah.
to have people that are, you know, the same page. Man.
Yeah, you guys definitely should like step back and be like, nah, who cares what number you guys are on? It's commendable, man. Like I said, like from the outside looking in, it's like shit, man, these guys are on it, but in a good way. It's motivation. It's like whatever it is, either my podcast or the music or the, you know, what we had going on, fucking Energy Fest and all this shit. Like it all this energy is transferred somehow. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. When I see someone doing what I want to do, what I envision them doing, or just see them accomplish stuff, that's motivation for me. I don't hate. I don't like to hate. You know what I mean? It's like dope. They got Johnny Cage fucking again, man. Like what the fuck? Like these guys must be cool, man. Because this guy and you guys show that side of him too. You know what I mean? Because we all listen to him, but then to, you know, for him like, and he doesn't cuss a lot, but for him just, you know, he's relaxed. You could tell.
Well, we're pretty good at getting our guests going, man. I would say that's one of the things that like.
We're specialized in.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Yeah, because it's cool because like we'll have several guests obviously that will come in and they're kind of nervous, or they're kind of PC a little bit, you know, like trying to watch what they're saying. But if you ever check an episode, you fucking look at them how they are in the first half, and then you check them out in the second half.
Yeah,
dude,
I
and-
trip out on that.
Yeah, man.
I trip out on that.
And it's cool because too, like even at the end of the pod is like that's what I love. Like, you know, besides the pod or whatever, is meeting these new people, but also actually meeting them like and how they are like with their friends or whatever, you know, like very
Yeah, the
just
human.
chill. Yeah, the
human
very
part.
human part of them, you know,
Yeah.
and they talk about their issues or whatever, or they'll tell us stuff that they'll never say on air.
Yeah.
You know, like it's shit like that, you know, like I'm shocked sometimes at the shit that like happens after the pod with our guests
Oh,
that I'm
really?
like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
This whole fucking time, you know, like holy shit.
Right. So like one time we actually like we smoked pretty fat with Austin Trout, like
Oh,
right
shit.
after the podcast. And Austin Trout, if you know who he is, I don't have to give you an introduction, but that guy he's a fucking professional boxer. Fought Canelo, like fought all these professional people. Told us a story of when he was in Vegas chilling with Mike Tyson, bro. Like off. This is totally off air because it was just
Oh.
after out. Like it was just once the vibes were right, and he opened up about that. But like that is something that like I'll never forget. Like or Chewy, like none of us will ever forget that because like we didn't go into that interview thinking we would ever have that moment.
Yeah.
But to have that moment and it's just like you kind of like you sit back and you're like, dude, like a lot of people would like really want that moment, and like we got it just because we were able to bring them on
Yeah.
and show them a good time, really, and that's what it comes down to.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing about this whole podcasting thing is that like that's why you know people succeed in this shit, because no matter how big people get, you get to see the human part. You know,
Yeah.
you bring them down almost like to your level, or it feels like it. You know what I mean? Like,
No, definitely,
shit.
dude. If anything, there's some guests that are like way too chill too. Like I was like, yo, dude, I don't know if I could actually hang out with this guy in real life because then I don't know,
too
man. How do
cool.
you make it? You know? But also like we've seen, you know, like again, I'm not gonna mention names, but there's this one time we had a guest on, and halfway, 45 minutes or 40 minutes into the fucking episode, his phone rings and he decides to answer on air,
Oh,
on
shit.
speaker. And right away, all you hear is like some lady like, "Where the fuck are you?" and blah blah blah. And this guy's like, "Oh, hey, we're live right now on YouTube. I don't give a fuck." And he's like, "Oh, hey, okay, well, okay, I'm about to leave right now. Okay, I love you." And she's like, "Fuck you," and then like hangs up. And then he's like, Can you guys take that off the, you know, like, sorry about that, but like, and you wouldn't like from the person that was, you're like, bro, no fucking way. Everybody has issues. Everybody's a fucking human.
Exactly.
You know, so that's
dude.
one thing that I love about our pod, and you see a lot of that, you know, like them being themselves like during the pod too, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, especially the stupid questions that we could come up with that this guy comes up with just out of nowhere,
Stupid question.
like, so and it just catches them off guard, and you could tell that they, you know, they put their walls down. You
Yeah,
know, and
dude,
that's what we
and right
love.
away, like, I mean, again, I feel like I know you guys. So when I see someone come in and they're like, kind of like, you know, proper and shit, and I'm like, okay, well, here comes la mamada. Where's the pendejada? Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, Misa, hit that button, dude. Do something. Come on. You know, crack that beer, Chris. Do something.
That's funny because the first thing I did when I got here was ask you to take a piss because I was like, yo, we didn't, if we're gonna do this, like, you know, like, yeah. But no, like,
not in there separately.
well, I mean, we pissed together before. Yeah, it would have been the first time.
Segue.
But like, yeah, it's kind of crazy because like, I think what helps us out is that we get these interviews, right? Like, for example, Ivan Melendez. We've had him on twice now.
Mhm.
This guy is like the biggest thing like since sliced bread, like when it comes to like UTEP, like, or not UTEP, people from El Paso playing Major League Baseball, bro. Like the biggest thing, like nobody else comes out on the stage. Bro, the collegiate player of the year in college, bro. D1 at UT.
Yeah.
Biggest deal, like to me, because I love sports, man.
Yeah.
So to have him sitting with us and chilling with us, bro.
Heisman Trophy winner.
No, he's not a Heisman Trophy winner, but he
said
won
baseball
the
winner. He said
Heisman equivalent in
equivalent, that's
baseball.
what I meant.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he won collegiate player of the year, straight
Right,
up.
right.
Like to have him chilling with us, dude, and then like when we hit him up, like to come back, he was like, dude, I had so much fun. Like I'm down to come back.
Dope.
Like, bro, like we're chilling with Major League Baseball players and like we're asking him questions that he would never get asked anywhere else.
Yeah.
Even like when he ended the podcast, he was like, bro, I go on other fucking interviews. I know what they're going to ask me.
Exactly.
So it's like I'm programmed like a robot. You know what I mean?
Fucking Chris ended up asking a professional player if he's ever been in love. Right after asking him if he's ever been in a fight. Come on, Chris, but that breaks the ice too.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
How hard was he laughing at?
yeah, dude, he was like, dude,
He was cracking up so hard.
Yeah, because
it looked like he wanted to punch you too. Like, what the
it's like
fuck?
one side of the brain and then woof, just like completely other. You know what I
man.
mean?
I'm not afraid to ask people the tough questions. Like that's one of the things I was always like, you know what? Like, if we're gonna do this shit, we have to make it funny. That was my biggest thing. Was like, I want a funny podcast because I love podcasts. My favorite podcast ever is the Dan Le Batard Show.
Oh, okay.
These guys are the best fucking sports shows, like best podcast ever, dude. That's like where I get a lot of my inspiration from.
Yeah. Yeah, I
that-
could hear you do research, like the way you carry yourself, like it's loose, but I could hear you, like.
Right. We're going
You know what I
into
mean?
we're getting into it, dude. Like I don't just like when I interview someone, I want to know a lot about them already.
Yeah.
So that way I can like get at the good stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I do like pretty good research, I would say. We have rundowns that are like it's not scripted, I would say. No, at all. It's not scripted at all.
Hold on, what are rundowns?
So rundowns are like our version of show notes.
Oh, okay.
So we do like a rundown for every episode, and it kind of just has points that we're gonna hit, like points
okay.
we're gonna hit.
Kind of like this.
Right? Exactly.
My little kindergarten
Right,
version.
but that is what you want, though.
Yeah.
Because like what you don't want is people just going on these like crazy, like they're just talking about something that has no like relevancy to like anything that you guys were already talking about. They go down like a
Right.
wormhole of conversation.
Right.
So we try to avoid that, but at the same time, I'm not telling Misa like, Misa, you have to say this, this, and this.
No,
Like
no.
we leave it up to each other to make like funny things happen. But we also have a purpose of our conversation. Like we're gonna hit this, we're gonna
Yeah.
hit this, we're gonna hit this,
You
and
reel
at
it in.
right at the end, we're gonna reel it all in, tie
Yeah.
it all together. You know.
But I mean,
Nice.
it's also like, you know, the type of people that we are. We do get into those fucking
Yeah, it's
you know,
easy to,
you know,
to
yeah,
veer off.
to get, but that's what's cool about
That's
these
where I
like
relate. That's where I
rundowns, you
relate.
know, like Chris will, you know, all right, guys, so moving on, like little things like that is what's
Yeah.
important because, yeah, people are listening, and then next thing you know, it's like, wait, what the fuck are they talking about again? You know, like you have to kind of know when the next segment or next subject is coming up in some sense,
Yeah.
you know, like so. I don't know, it's weird. It's a lot of shit that we've learned, you know,
Yeah.
as we go on, you know.
No,
like,
and again, it's very inspiring because I see it. You know what I mean? I pick up on it, and I don't really even watch to like study you guys, because like once I catch myself doing that, either with your guys' podcast or any other podcast, once I start focusing too much, then I get turned off. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's nobody's fault. It's me, because I'm very like, you know, like and then, because I always want to like learn. You know what I mean? Like if I can do it on my own, then I want to learn. But then at a certain point too, I turn myself off and like, man, I'm not. Yeah. Or you hear everybody laugh, and I'm like, what? I missed it. Shit. You know, like, oh man, I'm over here thinking, and then I can hook up this microphone to this, and then this and this. And I'm like, fuck. You know, and I'll just like start over. But okay, so speaking of structure, fucking 45 minutes in and shit. I have a few questions here for you guys.
Hell, we gonna get some questions.
you a cop or what?
Maybe I'll just wait.
Hey, you're the nicest cop I've ever met. Met a bunch of cops. You know, some of them are cool, but you know, I like your setup, dude. I really do.
Oh, thank you,
Like, it's really chill.
thank you.
And one of the things that I'll say real fast before we get into your questions is
Yeah.
that like, if you wanted like ever do something creative, like I've always had that creative itch in my head, like always. Like that's why I would rap back in the day.
Yeah.
But like if you want to do something creative, everybody's gonna make you feel like you shouldn't do it. Like they're gonna make it seem that like you're crazy for doing it. But like don't do it for that for them. And don't even like try to be like, I'm gonna do it in spite of them.
Nah.
Like do it because you want to. And like that's like the biggest thing. Like I wish somebody would have told me that a long time ago. You know what I mean? But I learned like along the way somehow. But to me, like don't really care what people think about you. Just do your shit, and as long as like you know that like you're giving it your all, that's it, dude. Just like that easy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know. Right? Let me stand up. Let me stand up.
Hey, Chris Marcus, 2036.
And with that, we out. Now,
That's good.
No, but that's something that I've always like I said, I wish somebody would have told me that.
No,
You know what I
I
mean?
agree, dude. I think that falls into the whole what like I said earlier. Like I like maturing because I
Right.
find shit out like
Dude,
that.
and like Chewy, how old are you? He's 28, dude.
He's
I'm
at least 50.
I'm
No, no.
30. I'm gonna be 32 like sooner than later.
Yeah.
But like, dude, when I see young people or younger people that have a drive, dude,
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro, like I can give you some game. You know what I mean? Like I can help you because I can already see like you have this talent and whatever. I've been through whatever you're going through. The drive, bro.
Yeah.
So when I see that, I'm like, dude, come here. Let me fucking foster you. Let me help you
Mm.
because I wish
Come here,
I
son.
had that. You know what I mean? Like my dad doesn't know shit about like any podcasting, any shit like that. I had to learn all of this shit like by myself, but I'm glad because now like I can pass it on, you know?
Exactly. And that's why that's how I view things too. Like, let me find shit out, and then if someone needs something, if I can help out, fucking, you know what I mean? Like some of these artists, like, hey, you're what's up with the music? Like, how come it's because I gotta, put money together for a studio. Come hit me up, man. I'll record you for free.
Yeah.
Mix, master, everything, pinche setup, pinche Mickey Mouse, pero, it'll get by, you know what I mean? And then it's just like some of them, it's almost like an abusive relationship. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What's the catch? Like, no, there's no catch. Actually, I could use the practice. And it's just like, no, all right.
And I think that's also one thing about Around, because I mean, as far as I'm sure that you know, like there's a lot of people out there that say they have like podcasts here in El Paso,
Yeah.
and that I've seen, you know, and maybe they'll post like once a month or
Yeah.
once every other week or something, and that's cool. But the thing is like me and Chris have always been open, and like when we find out that like somebody from El Paso has a podcast, like
Yeah.
yo, dude, props to you, you know, like, and
Yeah.
if like you reached out to us, dude, like we're down to work with people like that, you know.
That's so
like
cool. Man.
Ace as well, he has his podcast. He also asked us to be on it, so we'll be on that soon.
Nice.
So stuff like that, I think like and it kind of reminds me when we started recording with a bunch of comedians.
Yeah.
They have like this community.
Yeah.
You know, where they all support each other.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of these guys, I'm sure there's some that, you know, kind of hate on each other or whatever, but
Yeah.
most of them do. They all like you know, like they go to each other's show, and
That's so
and then
cool.
I mean, you know, it would be badass too. Like, you know, all these people that are starting like you know, you guys, you know, have a community of just us helping each other out and being on each other's podcasts. We have a friend, Dre on Wheels from the 1130 podcast from Baltimore, and that's how we met him, through Facebook group and podcast. And you know, he's been on the pod a few times. Chris has been on his pod.
Damn.
And it's stuff like that, man. It's stuff like when you stop trying to like compete
Yeah.
with each other, like, and start, you know, trying to just do the best. Why can't there be fucking two badass fucking
Exactly,
podcasts,
like,
three badass podcasts in El Paso?
Why
know, like-
must there just be one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, if we're number one, that's fine too, you know.
Sí, sí, huevo. Sí, sí, sí. But
Let's
like,
make that very clear.
and he brings it back down
Yeah,
to
no,
himself.
that's what Misa will do always.
No, but I agree because like I what I've learned during my research of like taking this whole music shit seriously is like I want to help build a community in the city like you hear that it is in Houston,
Right.
like how
Or
it
Atlanta.
is in the Bay,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Atlanta,
Where
the
like
Bay, Memphis.
everybody like, dude, come on. Yes, everybody eats, of course. So like, pull each other. Hey, you recording? You know what? This and this. Hey, you know what? We're gonna shoot a video. You come be in the music video. Hey, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like, imagine how much further we can go, how much more eyes you can get on, and then from the outside looking in, they're gonna look at us and be like, well, not us, but like the city,
Right.
and then they're gonna be like, hey, these motherfuckers got their shit together. You know what I mean? Now it's like, you know, you drop an episode, I'm sharing it, and then it just like tenfold.
Right.
Everybody fall in line, and all you have to do is fucking share.
Yeah, dude, we're all sharing stupid shit all day, every day.
Exactly.
All day, every day. That's all we fucking do because we're stuck to our
Exactly.
phones. All
Now
of us.
imagine if it's for a purpose.
Right.
You know, pendejadas, pero like
Bro,
for
I
a
was
purpose.
tripping out earlier this morning. Actually, I was taking a shit, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going through my IG messages, and my sister sent me. Anyways, I got like stuck in this thing. It was just nothing but like baby toes, and then had like fucking 100,000 likes and shit, like 400, and like people don't want to like my episode shit. Like
Dumb people like you.
we had an MLB player on my shit.
Yeah.
Go like just press that like share, dude. Like
Nah, dude, it's almost like they make it a
We're
point
from
to
El Paso.
not. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Don't like, I know what this is. I'm not gonna do it. And it's
baby
like,
toes, bro. Get the fuck on.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna take a picture and show everybody what they're gonna look like later on. Dude.
But honestly, dude, it's like, okay, because like how you said, like they'll see it and they're like, oh, I'm not gonna share it or whatever because like why would I share it? Like these guys always do a podcast, but
They
those-
got it.
Yeah,
you know?
those are the people that like I think are like eventually, like once you fucking actually pop, they're gonna be like, oh, I've known these dudes from the very fucking beginning.
Day one, bro.
Right, day one.
Day one.
But at the same time, it's like we know who the fuck our day ones are. We know who the fuck listens every episode.
Exactly.
And so it's like, bro, we don't do this for them. It's like we do this for the people that when we missed an episode one time, we had people texting us like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh,
What happened to your episode? So it's like we don't worry about like the people that we can't control.
Yeah.
Like, we worry about the people that are like interacting with us. Yeah, they'll come through because they know what's up. They already know what's up. They just might be like,
Chris,
whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like Chris Brown right now.
Nah, dude.
I feel like Chris Brown. Post the Rihanna thing.
guys are fucking.
Post Rihanna.
No, dude.
Nah, dude. But it has to be said because I feel the same way. And
I've just
and
been
if-
wanting to say that.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. You have to, dude, because like me and Accurate, when it's just me and Accurate in here talking, it's basically like what we're doing
Right.
right now. It's just like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
like again, not to toot our own horn, but we're onto something.
Right, right.
We know we're onto something.
And that's exactly why I say that shit, because I'm like, bro, you like, and I'm not saying you, but just anyone else, like,
or you could say, I'm just
like, go start a YouTube channel and go get 500 subs. Tell me how long that takes you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit's not easy.
Without showing your titties.
Right. Without that, and without botting your channel.
Yeah.
Like, do that, like, and
With
like,
integrity.
right, with integrity, bro. And like, to me, like, because I used to have a lot of friends, and honestly, like, I'll talk about it just because we're on the subject, but a lot of my friends that I thought, well, people that are still my friends, they would be like, bro, why are you doing a podcast? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they would doubt or they would hate.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're jealous. It just might not be their thing. But like, I was never going to be like, all right, well, I'm going to listen to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck that, dude. Like, if they don't like it, they don't like it. Not everyone has to like it. You
Yeah.
know?
Like what you eat doesn't make me shit.
Right.
Like, que te valga madre, güey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing my own thing. Like, you chew this type of gum, I chew this type of gum. What the fuck is it to you? You know what I mean?
And actually, I think also what a lot of it is like, I mean, just because a lot of our stuff is funny, you know, very comedic or whatever. Like I've had family members that think that I'm just doing it just for the party or it's just to have a drink or blah blah blah. Like, nah, we take this shit serious. And if you were to spend one day like how we set up our pod and how the whole process goes, then you would see how it's not just fun and games. Like, yeah, we have fun doing it.
Yeah.
You know, but this is shit that we take serious.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and I think from the outside looking in, you're right. Yeah. I think from the outside looking in, I appreciate that because, I mean, I am nowhere where you guys are at, but I know what it takes to do what you guys are doing. And I'm like, there's no way you could be half-assing and be where you're at.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's work that's done. Like you said, keeping up with the page, constantly post. Now you guys are doing twice a week. Like, for anybody that doesn't...
having to get guests.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, the scheduling is like the hardest thing ever.
Oh.
Dude. That shit is so hard. And then another thing that people don't realize is that like every Sunday and like Thursdays now, because like we're doing twice a week, but like that's all I do is like just fucking edit and like work on the podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's gonna go. Upload it to YouTube. Uploading to YouTube is a fucking hassle.
Oh,
That shit takes hours, man.
dude,
It
I
takes
just finished
hours.
posting all the content for the Energy Fest that we just had. I'm done
Bro,
with YouTube for a while,
right?
dude.
Like, and we do that. We do that shit constantly. Like
Ugh.
I've like kind of just like succumbed to like the idea like that's just what I have to do. But at the same time, it's like, who else is gonna do it? It's work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, we're gonna fucking do it because people are depending on those episodes, so that shit has to get done. Like, no matter what.
I need it, bro. I need it.
Hey man,
Don't
and the
slack
more
on
it
me.
grows, the more work it's gonna come with. You know? Like,
Exactly,
and
dude.
that's why it's also important to have, like we talked earlier, like, you know, a group like this guy Chewy that's with us, you know, because they do a lot of the work as well.
Yeah,
you know?
that is no joke because again, I kind of like dip my foot in a little bit of everything. I don't know like everything, but I could get by, you know. But I want to learn, so I'm like, well, what do you have to do for this? Oh shit. Oh shit. So and then next thing you know, my wife's like, hey, get off the fucking phone. I'm like, no.
Exactly,
You
bro.
know what I
I
mean?
mean, like we said, man, I have 2 kids. I have a 13-year-old daughter, a 6-year-old son. My wife, I've been with my wife for 10 years. You know, he's just recently married, but he's been with his girl for so long. He
Yeah,
still has
dude.
school.
Yeah,
You know,
dude.
like all of our other, you know, friends that are on the pod, they also have full-time jobs. You know, a couple of them have kids. Actually, all of them, but you and Chewy have kids. So yeah, I mean, like, and you have to think, like, to make a thumb, you know, like you have to get another app to edit it. You know, you have to get good at it. Shit takes time.
Yeah, dude.
You
and then
know,
over here screen recording, getting the clip. That way you
Right.
could post it on Instagram and then trim it and then getting the thumbnail.
You don't want to do half-ass shit either.
Nah,
you know?
dude,
Like, I'd rather not.
exactly.
We'd rather not post anything than to post some shitty ass stuff. You know, we want to stay consistent. You know, and I think that's what also like a lot of like some of the arguments could happen with us is like wanting to put something up and like, nah, we got to do this, or wanting to do something, but like, nah, we're not ready yet for that, you know, like,
Yeah.
just wanting to push. You always want to go 100 miles an hour, but you always want to make sure that like you got fucking gas in the tank,
Fuck
you know, and
yeah.
that your
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
wheels have air and shit and you're ready to go. Take it slow,
Mhm.
you know? You like that shit, dude? I was just trying to think of all this shit.
I got the mic right here, man.
That
Shit.
was some epic ass shit. Dude,
I'm out.
156,
You had your moment.
156 episodes. He's never said anything that was as close to as epic.
We
as
don't
that
get
one.
asked these questions. We're the one asking questions usually.
All right. Well, that was great, dude. That was wow. You unlocked another side of Misa.
All right, so
Like that black character, like in the game, the unlockable one. Like you just unlocked.
It hurt my head actually.
I know.
my head.
Bro, you're fuck yeah, dude. He's done after this. He's going straight to bed.
Oh shit, you're like a medium and shit. You're like,
Yeah,
at the
dude.
end you're like
Like,
spit.
Energy is just out.
That was all. Everything he's
What did
got.
I say, by the way? I totally forgot. Honestly, I
What did you
forgot.
say?
Where am I? Where am
Gas in the tank
about cars.
and air in the
This
tires.
is expensive right now.
I?
Anyways, take it slow.
100 miles
Don't
an
waste your
hour,
gas,
but take
you know?
it slow.
Take it slow. All right, so and I know I said an hour, so cut me off whenever you guys are done.
You're good, dude.
So-
I have to laugh at this. guy for
Nah,
that.
we're good. So 59 minutes in, first question.
We haven't even gotten to his questions, bro.
No, dude, but
Nah, you're
Shut
good.
up.
You're good, man. You're good. So let's rewind to like the way beginning. Well, you guys already kind of touched up on it, but like, how did the podcast start? Like, what planted the seed?
So shout out my brother Nick, because me and him were always gonna do a podcast together. That was always the plan. That was like me and him doing a pod, and then this dude moves to San Antonio. Like he just
That'll
moves
do
to
it.
San Antonio, and then so that kind of just threw that like right in the toilet.
He's like, I got you, bro.
Right. So after that, it was just like one day, like my wife kind of was just like, she wasn't my wife at that point, but she was just like, if you talk about it so much, why don't you actually do it? And I was like,
Shout out to wives,
Right,
man.
and
They're
like-
the shit, man.
like
My wife is
It's like
the
pretty
shit.
much like shut up already and do it.
Sí, ya, cállate,
she's
güey.
like, stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, stop making excuses. And so, like, honestly, like, I kind of got mad at it, and I was like, well, fuck you then. I'll do it then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Watch
and
me.
then, yeah, and then so like, but honestly, she's like the biggest like support like
Dope.
that I have in the podcast, because she's like been part of it since the beginning. But honestly, that's how I like it started, was just like her kind of challenging me, and myself also being like, all right, well, what's stopping you? Like, you're stopping yourself, honestly.
That's dope, man. That is dope. So you went on for like how many episodes between like you trying to figure it out on your phone, and then what made you? How did you guys meet?
Okay, so we've known each other since middle school, honestly.
Oh
But
shit!
he's also
Yeah, well, that's the thing that also kind of like
It's
like
kinda
where we're
trippy.
at. Yeah, where we're at right now is still kind of trippy, because I did meet Chris like in the middle of 7th grade year, because I moved from another school to Lincoln Middle
you were a
School.
bad kid, right?
No, I moved from like a very poor Vinton town to a fucking other poor place by the west side and shit.
I
But
remember you in alternative way.
yeah, well, I was an alternative, but that's another story for another pod. You know what I'm
Si
saying?
tienes cara de alternative, güey.
Sí, güey.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
pues that's where I was raised, güey. Pero my primos and shit in there. My tío was an instructor. Yeah, sí, güey. But me and Chris were always just like we were just acquaintances, like because we played basketball. I only knew him because we played basketball. It was just like, hey, what's up, you know, all the way through the middle school. And then high school, he went to Coronado, I went to Franklin, and we didn't see each other. Maybe like at parties or something, maybe. But then we didn't see each other again till maybe like 5 years after high school. He was working at the mall,
Wow.
and so was I. And I was security, and he was working. But it was just like, hey, what's up, man? And then that's the last time I saw him until probably like 3 years after that, when I saw that he posted an episode with our producer, Joe. He was episode 12. And then I listened to it, and then I sent him a message like, yo, if you want somebody funny on your pod, let me know. And a few hours later, he's like, hey, how about this next week? And we set up a date, and then that's how episode 13 happened.
Wow.
We hadn't seen each other, you know, never really. That was the most we'd ever talked at episode 13 since we met each other. You know, we've never been that close. I didn't even know he had sisters or siblings or anything like that.
That is so cool.
But Small World is like my best friend that I've been best friends since 2nd grade. Is his cousin.
Oh,
And like close cousin too, you know, Blue. Shout out to our boy Blue, our beer guy Blue. But
oh yeah, I've heard about him. in the
yeah.
show. That's right. That's right.
yeah, so I did that episode with him, and then it did really well, man. I think it's actually still the most listened on Anchor.
Es que si te
You
dejas
know,
caer, güey, like
I
some
just
of-
talked a lot of shit, and so
Yeah, so I'm actually like checking out our fucking.
if you need to move this, you can fucking.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
There you go.
Right there. I'm checking out our fucking pods on Anchor right now,
Yeah.
all the way back to October 8th, or no, September 30th, 2019. That was the first one. Like that was the very first
Wow.
me putting anything out.
3 years ago.
Right, but
Wow.
but
3 years.
I realize now, like I started interviewing just like my homies right away, honestly.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, at some point it gets to like episode 8, and after that I'm just constantly interviewing different people. And then literally, like he said, episode 12 is with Joe. Joe's our good friend. He's our producer.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to
then-
Joe. I hear
yeah.
about you all the time.
Yeah, he's got a cell phone addiction too, by the way. Watch out for that.
Pobrecito.
Episode 13, right after that is Misa.
Nice.
And yeah, dude, right there, that was kind of just like the turning point, I would say. But
Wow.
I mean, I remember messaging him and just being like, all right, dude, like that was cool. Like everything came out good. And like I proposed the idea, but I was kind of also like, you got to be like kind of down though. Like, you know what I mean? Like I got to have like some commitment here.
Yeah.
Like I can't just like, because I was even like, I changed the name of the podcast because it was
Yeah.
just conversing with Chris.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how it started. So I was like, bro, if I'm gonna change the name of the podcast and put you like in the title, like you can't just like not come around and just like you have to be here all the time.
And
That's
shout out
crazy.
to whoever made you guys' logo. That shit is dope.
Well, oh shit.
Yeah,
this
that
is
one.
Actually,
That one is dope.
my boy Chris Johnson at Sacred Designs. I met him when I was working at Downtown Spaces. I gave him the concept and he made the actual logo and he made our podcast logo that's on Anchor and shit.
Uh-huh.
But the merch comes from Chewy. But yeah, this logo is like it came out sick as fuck because like if you look
So
at it,
dope.
it's a mirror of the
So
of
dope.
the letters. It's crazy.
And then every time I see it, I say it.
Conversing with Chris, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty. It's been a fun ride, man. I remember actually leaving his episode, and I'd never done anything like that. Never even really thought about being or making an episode. Like
Yeah.
I've thought at some point of like becoming a stand-up comic, you know, and stuff like that. But that's
Yeah.
the only thing I ever thought about being on a mic.
Wow.
So when I was on that, and then I was driving home, and I'm thinking like, dude, I had a lot of fun, but I smoked a lot of THC with Chris. I wonder what the fuck, and I was kind of worried. He kind of like, I probably sound like a dumbass, blah blah blah. And then
Yeah.
a few hours later, he sent me a message like, yo, this shit's funny as fuck. It's good, man. It's do one with me again. You know, we'll get somebody this next episode, and that was kind of like the introduction. Like episode 14, was it episode 14 or 15? I think 14. Like it was. Yeah, JP. I had a friend show up,
Mhm.
and it was just kind of like testing the waters. You
Yeah.
know? Just between me and him, and yeah, he brought up the idea about it, and then I told him too, like, hey man, I mean, I would like to have my name on the thing, and he's like, look, if that's gonna happen, I need commitment. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, I want to take this shit serious, and I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And I mean, when we started the first, I said 2-3 months, it was like at his house 4 times a week. My wife was not happy about it.
Oh,
you
I
know,
bet.
like, especially showing up after, you know, a couple of tabloids and shit. You
Sí,
know, like,
todo. ¿Qué
but
estás
the
haciendo?
progression kept going, you know, and we
Yeah.
started getting ideas, and you know, the whole list of who we wanted eventually came up.
That's
and
so cool, man. That's
just
so
slowly
Cool.
started going.
That's so
and-
cool, man. That
And
you
yeah, and it
guys-
still trips me out, you know, because I've had people and like, you know, like, hey, you and Chris, how long you guys been friends? And like, literally, like, we've actually started being close friends when we started doing the pod.
That's so
like,
cool.
3 years now, or you know, almost 3 years, because I started in February. I think that's when the pod came out. So I mean, for us not to really know I think that our chemistry works. I think it's just fun at the fact that we could clown each other,
Yeah.
you know, and at the same time take a serious conversation. you
Yeah,
know,
like
which is cool. What I like about this guy.
yeah, like,
you
and
know?
you guys play off of each other very well. Like I think they call it like A and B mic or some shit like that.
I'm the A side.
Ah.
He's a B side, a little bit bigger.
No, but that's cool, man. That's cool because again, it goes to like I think the main topic of this conversation is like just focus on something and just do it. You know what I mean? Just fucking do it. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people like hesitate or they're scared or even when they do, they're like, pues I only got these many views. Oh, how many likes and oh, how come this and that or blah blah. And it's like, dude,
And it don't
first of
even
all-
have to be with just pod.
Nah,
Like, there's
yeah.
people that like they love doing stuff, or they've always wanted to like make cooking videos or some shit. Either they're really good at cooking or something, or they've always wanted to try something, and just fucking do it, you know? Like,
yeah, dude. My wife just started like, cause well, her cooking is like the shit, right? And we always compliment her, like, man, if you like start selling this shit, you could actually do something. And for years, we've been telling her this for years. This, like, just last week, I made an Instagram page and everything, and she started, announcing on her Facebook, like, hey, I'm gonna make enchilada plates, and boom, 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 boom. She ended up making I don't even remember, 30 something plates, 40 something plates.
damn.
Yeah, dude. And she's like, I thought it was. I was like, no. You got to start somewhere. And just to know that people requested your shit, like, you did it. You know what I mean? Like, now you did it. And it's like, pinche Instagram page, no one.
But even then,
there.
I mean, it could even get to a point where, like, you actually do it, and then you find out that you really don't like it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people get discouraged with how much work shit takes.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you want something good, like, you get what you fucking put in.
Exactly.
You know, and everything that you fucking do. Damn, there's another one too. Here I go again. Nah, but
I'm gonna pin them on the video and shit.
I'll sign a quote. I'll write it as a tattoo, man. Fucking, you gotta have gas in the tank, air in your tires.
The other one was way better.
I feel like you half-assed that one. You were like,
the pressure.
Like, a lot of work equals good shit. We get it.
We get it.
You gotta be inspirational, bro.
It's all right.
That's something I've heard before.
people
Yeah, no, I know. But you gotta give them something they've never heard before. Like that gas in the tank, air the wheels, bro. Where did that come from? I'm still moving. I'm still
From in
moving
here.
on
It came
that,
from
yeah.
in here, somewhere in here.
Yeah. That other one came from your ass.
Nah, but that's cool, man. That's cool that and it just goes to show that every time it has to be like that. Even from like the biggest, they started somewhere and they just kept on going and going and going and going, and then it just hits.
Right.
You never know when, and I think that's the thing, is that everybody gets disappointed, like right here. Okay, I'm ready here. No. And then they just fucking give up.
Bro, I've been like, there's been times where like we've created something from like maybe an episode to even like a meme or something.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm thinking to myself like, this one's gonna be funny, or people are gonna love this shit, and then we don't get the reaction that I expect, and that shit still brings me down sometimes, and like, but I never get to a point where like it's like, fuck this shit, I quit. Like, nah, it just makes me think like, well, why wasn't that shit funny, and then I start calling up people like, why didn't you like that shit, like, and then I don't know, man, but.
No, I
think that's a part of it. That's all part of it. Like, it'd suck if everything just came out good all the time. You know? Like, it's good for a while, but then what? It gets boring.
Yeah, we can't all be Chris. We have to,
Yeah, we can't all just be all fucking perfect.
Motivational quotes.
Yeah, dude, fucking. Sorry, I wasn't a rapper. I didn't know how to fucking rhyme and do fucking lyrics. Or whatever.
That's fucking
nomás
cool.
te tienes que poner las pilas, güey. Ya,
Sí, güey, yeah, stop that. And you know what else too? I've learned is that
Fucking Misa.
people, like, as far as like the whole social media thing goes, like sometimes people like they'll post shit and you don't always catch it. You know what I mean? And then I've learned that sometimes they take that to heart. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what the fuck? I'm like, what are you talking about? How come? Well, I don't fucking know. Like, what,
I know you saw my pic, bitch.
Yeah, and it's like, well, actually, I didn't. I don't know, fucking.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm focused on my shit. Don't get me wrong. If something comes out, and then I'm not just gonna like everything and anything.
Dude. Yeah, we're not all out here just liking every post.
Like, I had to unfollow shit because like I want like my feed at a certain point. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Why am I getting? And it's like. Then I learned like, oh, it actually goes into what you like and what you follow.
What they think you like.
Yeah,
it's all
so
based on your fucking searches and shit.
Yeah, so I went and I fucking did some deep cleaning, unfollowed a bunch of shit.
Deep cleaning.
Yeah, dude.
Some social media.
We had to do that when Joe ran our fucking IG for a little bit.
Yeah, dude, and it's like, well, what the fuck? Let me get rid of all this
Joe's
shit.
a horny ass dog.
Oh, okay.
So I had nothing but bitches on the fucking like on the page IG, right?
Yeah.
And like I have a wife, like we've been together for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So she sees me scrolling through like, and I'm not like trying to hide it because I'm like also tripping out. Like, why the fuck is there all half naked women everywhere on my fucking page here?
Yeah.
And then so like, of course, when she sees that, she doesn't believe me that it's Joe. But I mean, after a while, like she figured it out. But we had to literally like take Joe, separate him from the IG account, and tell him you can't just be searching up fucking IG models on here.
Yeah.
Like it was the first professional.
And then he's like, well, it's because my girl would get mad.
Yeah, that's why.
So your
you're
guys'
using
page was
the-
his burner page.
Yes, bro. Don't do that. No. And I mean, there's still a lot that we need to clean out. 'Cause shit,
Yeah, dude. So that's what I learned
God
kind
damn.
of recently within the past few months. It's like, oh, all this shit is connected somehow.
Right.
So that's what I did. And I'm like, you know what? I might hurt some feelings and shit, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I want to choose my time wisely. You know what I mean? My time is valuable to me. And
My feed is my feed.
yeah, dude. So, but it's nothing. Oh, I would.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But no, it's because I see some stupid shit that's being suggested. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. And then I do like the hide or like silence these because I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
I want to see nothing but Warriors, Cowboys, podcasts, fucking funny memes, soccer related shit. That's
baby
it.
toes.
No baby toes. I
Oh,
don't
no,
want to
that's
see
Misa, that's
dogs.
Misa.
I don't want to see dogs.
Yeah.
Like I'm good on all that shit. Like I know what I want. And I look at you guys every day. I see enough dogs.
Yeah.
There you go. From the back.
All right. So next question. This one's for Misa. Who hurt you, Misa?
That's what I'm still trying to find out. man.
No. 'Cause you drink Budweiser, or you used to.
Yeah, I used to.
Whoa,
I mean, I'll have one every blue moon, you know,
Today.
after a blue moon.
what's the?
I had one today, actually.
What's with the preference to like Budweiser? Is that like?
You know what?
Were you abused as a kid? Or?
No, actually, I hated beer like through high school. Like, it was just peer pressure, man, and it was always like shitty ass beer, like Bush or Keystone or something. And I remember by the time I was already a senior, like I kind of got into tasting, you know, and
Yeah.
then somebody had brought some Budweiser, and I remember we were at a kickback. And nobody was drinking the Budweisers, dude. There was just like a full 30 just
They're
there.
still there. I'm just playing.
And then so I started drinking them, and like I thought it was like, dude, this shit has flavor, and it feel like a little bit more drunk for some reason, you know. And then at the same time, at the end of the night, I saw that there was still half a 30, and I was the only one drinking it, so I took it. And after that, like, why the fuck drink anything else? And Redcoats all the way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
But,
dude. Because
yeah,
I'm not gonna
man,
lie, when I would
that's-
see you guys, and I'm like, God, please.
That's crazy.
Misa.
I never really, even to this point, I taste the difference between Budweiser and Bud Light, but not to an extent to where like I would have been like Chris, like, nah. I mean, Chris would drink it if that's the only beer that's there, you know.
Yeah.
But if he had a choice, and if it's other than Bud Light, and there's something else, a Tecate or something, or a fucking Ultra, he'll fucking pick the Ultra, not the Bud Light or the Budweiser.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people are like that, dude. I don't know why.
I despise Bud
I
Light.
don't know.
I
I
mean,
actually
Bud Light,
remember my
Budweiser.
grandpa drinking a lot of Budweiser, and I thought like, yo, dude, that's fucking Jesus juice, because this guy never goes down.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
What about did you get really bad hangovers with Budweiser?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Like really bad to the point.
I
where,
mean,
like,
it's because there's times like
you stopped drinking.
it's because also and I'll be pretty honest, I stopped also drinking just because like
You got fucked up once, huh?
I mean, yeah, and I got in trouble with my mom too. It was in Cancun and shit, but no, like even before that, it was just I would start drinking, and if I got past like 2 tall boys, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have another 5,
Yeah.
you know, and then take a
Sí,
shot
sí, ya
on the
saben
way
cómo me
home.
pongo pa' que
Sí,
me
yeah,
invitan.
yeah, you know, so like, and I thought I didn't have an issue, you know, like thank God I never crashed or caused a scene and shit like that, you
Yeah.
know, but like it made me think, you know, like fuck, I need to slow down and shit, so
That's good, dude.
so
And
yeah, but yeah, it's just I'll have one Budweiser and shit, you know, and it's
Jesus
fucking,
Christ.
I'm like,
Yeah,
kinda,
like-
it's just kind of want to burns back inside of me, you know, it's like let me out.
Let me.
I was like, no,
No,
you know,
quédate.
next time. But yeah, man, I don't know. I used to chase alcohol sometimes, maybe
Oh,
for the
okay.
party and shit, you know, like
I see.
like I like what we did when we started the pod, but being able to drink too was also a plus.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't need it, honestly. You know, probably had some family members that thought like I had a really bad issue and shit. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I
Well, that's
was-
cool, man.
It was never like, oh shit, I need a Budweiser
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah.
All nice.
In the morning with the
yeah,
mug and shit.
yeah, yeah, man, yeah. But Budweiser, dude, shit. Now I'm fucking want one.
Guacala, güey.
Yeah. Why,
And
what kind
he's
of beers do you
back.
drink? What
I
kind of
just
beer
went-
do you drink?
Me, I'll.
Chris, wait, hold on, Chris. What kind of beer do you think he drinks?
Yeah,
what kind of beer does he
yeah.
look like?
Dos Equis.
Nah. I mean, I'll try it. My go-to. You're asking like what
Ultra?
my go-to is?
It's hard to tell right away when you meet someone.
Yeah.
It can go so many different ways.
Heineken?
No, there's no one slapping Heinekens. Coors.
Coors, God damn.
Just kidding.
Nah, I
It
think
has to be a light beer then.
truly way.
Corona.
truly guy.
nah.
You're a beer guy.
Well, he said beer. So
Well, I'm not. That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, we got to keep it beer.
Yeah, if it's beer, if it's beer, I think I'd go with Michelob Ultra.
Ultra,
But
ultra guy.
I veered off the beer for like.
You're a seltzer guy now?
Nah, dude, I like whiskey.
Oh, that's
And
what
bourbon.
I was going to say. Straight fucking
Yeah,
Evan
straight.
Williams.
Yeah, no, well, my
Jack.
my go-to is it. Now you guys are making me think and shit.
Jameson.
No, you guys have you guys had that Jim Beam honey
Oh, yeah, that shit's fire, bro. Jim Beam
Bro.
is so good.
with honey, the honey one though, with fucking Topo Chico
Shh.
ice. Oh my god, dude.
Dude, I can't. I try and stay away from alcohol. Like, I mean, liquor
Yeah.
as much as I can. Like, it doesn't really work, you know, and I'm in the moment and shit, but it's weird. Like, I could take one shot of tequila. I could take one shot of tequila, dude, and then, like, and, like, the chemical reaction in my brain with that, dude, I'll start tripping.
Really?
Yeah,
I've,
dude,
I've
like-
heard of that shit too.
Yeah,
man.
like I was like a fucking Indian at one point at Chris's house. Like, I should like I had my shirt off and everything. I'm like,
Cabrón.
yeah, dude, like and it's fucking like holy shit.
Pinche
He sent me,
Autobot.
dude, he
Dude,
went home and he sent me a text and he was talking like in fucking like he was
like, I hail from the Oaxaca Perez convict of the Immaculate Heart Sisters,
Yeah,
lady.
he's like, I'm part of this Apache tribe of this native lands in this area, dude. Like,
You're like, what the fuck?
dude, I was literally like, bro, what the fuck?
Bro, I woke up the next day and I was all like, dude, was I trying to write a book? Like, what? Embarrassing, you
brain
know,
hurts.
like it's embarrassing. It's I don't know, like sometimes you sit back and kind of think about like why you drink. If you know, like if you're listening right now and you like to drink, like why do you like to drink? Is it do you
Yeah.
like to drink to get drunk,
Yeah.
or do you like to drink because you like the taste? You like to get a little buzz or something, like it makes you fall asleep good. Why do you like to drink?
Yeah.
And I had to ask myself that a few times, you know, and I was all like, dude, I like to trip the fuck out, so give me a shot.
I
You
like to
know,
see
like-
the devil.
Go back to
Nah, dude. I commend you for that though, because I see where you're going with it. Like you're like, hold the fuck on. Let me pull back. Let me pull back. Because
I mean, honestly, I mean, if it wasn't for my mom or like my wife also, you know, interacting and shit, like,
Yeah.
I probably would have been divorced, you know, like,
shit.
you know, no support from my parents. But, and it's not that like I was addicted to alcohol. Like, I was like more like a bench drinker, you know,
Yeah.
like I'd be like once a week, you know, and we would record, but I'd fucking drink like a 12 pack or some shit, you know, it's just that whole night or, you know, and I don't know, like, it was just something that I needed to change. And it's like, there's times where like, I feel like, fuck, I want one, you know, since I'm around this shit, you know,
Yeah.
when I'm at a bar, but I push myself to go and hang out just to be like, nah, you could fucking fight this. And sometimes I lose, but it's all right, you know, like I miss my tribe.
the native lands.
Well, at least it sounds like now you got it like somewhat. It's like a conscious thought. Yeah, like it's a conscious thought now. Like, hey, hold the fuck on. What the fuck is going on? Instead of like, woo, where am I? Another novel. You know what I mean? So that's good.
Another novel. Fuck.
Days, I'm gonna be like, dude, I met John Smith.
Yeah. Right.
Bro, if this guy writes another novel, it's because he fucking drank way too much, bro. Because
Nah.
that night, it was like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Nah, but like for me, I just veered off the
Fucking
beer.
Misa.
Like I like have you guys tried Yingling?
Yeah, Yingling's good.
Yeah, you know, Yingling, stuff like that. But like Michelob Ultra, Sol. Oh, Sol. I love Sol. But I veered off the beer because, like, what was it? Like 2 years ago, I got like a blood work done, my yearly. And my doctor said that like my triglycerides were up and shit. And it's like, well, what do I do? And they're like, cut the fast food, this and this. And then part of it was like, do you drink beer? And I was like, yeah. He's all, I mean, I would say cut the beer too. But if you still want to have a good time, you could go to liquor. And by the way, I don't know if you like whiskey, And I'm like, are you
It's
serious? And he's like, yeah. Like, think about it. How many shots? You know, like, does it take for you to feel? No, wait. He said it the other way. How many beers does it take for you to feel the way you feel after one shot? Just, you know. And I was like, holy. And then it's like, boof. I was like, yes, sir. I am on it. So, I call my big bro, like, hey, whiskey, bourbon, what are we drinking? What? And then, we just like, all right, this and this. So, and then my palate just kind of, I think because of my health,
Right.
like the doctor was like, chill. Because I could knock them back. You know what I mean? Like, and then after a while, I was like, yeah, I kind of see. So now I see beer. Don't get me wrong. I still drink beer here and there. But if I have to choose, I'll be like, I kind of feel like drinking. And then, whatever.
Yeah, I think for me it was just mostly like abusing it. Like it was just like, yeah, no te pasas, Misa, te pasas,
Te pasas.
Like, but I don't know, like I could see the difference though. Like, I mean, I've lost weight, like a good amount of weight since I stopped drinking. Like,
Yeah, because that shit.
I've noticed how I get bored. Like I've noticed how how many times I drank just because I was fucking bored.
That's crazy.
And it's got me doing shit at home, and at the same time, like it made me think too, like my mom would always be like, you don't need a drink to have fun, and then I thought like, I don't, but now that I've done this, yeah, but at the same time, I thought like, I don't need, to drink to have fun, but dude, like you don't need shoes to run, but they fucking help, right? Like, holy shit, like, that's where I'm at, like
True,
I don't condemn like drinking. Like if you have an issue and you can't handle it, then don't fucking do it. Like
Yeah.
you gotta be strong. But I mean, yeah, like it does, dude. What do you think people fucking have it at bars and parties? Because
Yeah.
it's a boost to like enjoy yourself and shit.
Yeah.
So, ma, I told you.
I told you so. I told you.
He's tearing up, by the way. I just like.
That's funny.
Te dije, ama. No, that's cool, man. So it sounds like you're heading in the right direction, more like a purpose of, conscience. Cross your fingers, okay?
Go with God.
Oh yeah, just really quick, I just wanted to insert this. So I want to thank you guys for showing support and sharing the whole Energy Fest, how we had that going on.
No problem.
I just reached out. I kind of did what you said you do,
shoot the shot.
and just like, hey man, just fucking put it out there. I mean, I follow you, but I was just like,
There's like 4 of us that have like the account.
Yeah.
So if one of us don't see it, one of us will, and we'll be like, hey, this guy messaged you, check it out. Check this out. Hey.
yeah, dude, like
check it out.
that shit meant like the world to me, because it's me inaccurate, but like we have our lives and all this stuff, so it's just like manning the ship. It's just like, fuck, man. So for someone that's doing their thing and stuff to show support like that, it's like, man, that shit like just boosted, because that shit was fucking stressful as fuck, man. But I'll always have that itched in my brain, like that shit was dope, because you don't have to do that like at all. So thank you. Like,
Yeah, dude, we're all about supporting each other, dude, and like especially like anything involved with like podcasting or music, like even like we'll go to these events where they have like these pro-am fights,
yeah,
like just to like get out there, dude, just because like we want to show love to everyone. I mean, we've had a lot of love shown to us, so if we can just reciprocate that, like that's it takes us 2 seconds to post a story, like no excuse. So like whenever we're about something, like we definitely like try to help out when we can.
yeah, dude.
And that's
dope.
only because we also feel like we know exactly how you're feeling, like we've been there. We're still there, actually,
Yeah.
We're still there, bro. We're nowhere close to where like we kind of want to be, like
Yeah.
we're happy where we're at for sure, Of
Yeah.
course we're gonna keep going. But yeah, man, I mean, every guest that we get, like, dude, this guy answered, we still get those feelings, and that's what we love, So, like, you hitting us up, like, we know we've been there too, So if we could help too, man, shit. Like, you actually inviting us to be on the pod and actually interviewing us, because we've been in one other one, and it was like a little bit, like 10 minutes about us, and then everything else was like about crypto, I think, or shit like that. But we've never had a full like interview like you had, man, and we appreciate it, man. This will forever be the first full interview of Conversing with Chris and Misa, and
Cool.
it was nobody but the best. Rob D, thanks, bro. We appreciate
Hey man,
it.
this episode is for me, man. Like I said, like I'm like, I wonder that, like, I'm watching the episodes and shit, and I'm like, I wonder this and I wonder that, like, how the hell? So this is all for me, man. I'm fanning the fuck out, man. So thank you guys again for being here. Another thing I want to say too, The what's his name? The Joe Dorgan episode.
Joe Dorg.
Dude, that shit was so dope. And like the whole time I'm watching, I was like, "Hey, over here,
Right? Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
we're over here." Like, you know, the way he's like, "Oh, he wanted to work with the hip hop scene, and he wants to still do it." And the way he jumped at you guys when you guys brought up the live episode,
Right.
and I'm like, "Dude, this guy is like down."
He's about it, bro. He's super down.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about him, dude, is that like
Sorry, really quick, tell everybody who Joel Dorgan
so
is.
Joe Dorgan is Club 101 used to be a big deal back in the day. He was the guy that was in charge. Now he still has a club, but it's called 101. But the guy's a legend, man. He brought a bunch of big bands to El Paso back in like the 2000s and the 90s. Like this guy is somebody that should be respected. He's a legend. Like he's a fucking legend, dude. But the one thing I was gonna say about him is that he's super cool. Like even like Misa said, like when the way we know someone is like a fucking cool person is when we can chill with them off the podcast, and they literally vibe out with us, and that's literally what he did. We were like solving the world's problems with Joe Dorgan, literally, and like so that guy is like he's a fucking genuine person, and like he's an entrepreneur from the start, and he's the prime example of what it looks like if you can become successful.
Yeah, dude, like props to him, man.
Yeah, and I think that's what's cool about it, and that's what I noticed. I mean, most of our guests, and pretty much almost all of them, are whether from El Paso, we're from El Paso, or they still here. But all of them, man, are just so down to earth. You know, like once we hang out at the end, man, like it just makes you think. I don't know if it's an El Paso thing. You know, I'm still waiting to get somebody that's very big from somewhere else. You know, but at the same time, it also is, how we ask the questions and what the vibe is and stuff. But man, all these people that we've had, from Joe Dorgan to even Chuck D. Broder, Johnny Cage, Estela Casas.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just a bunch, man. These athletes too. It's just hearing their stories. It's fucking incredible.
So who is, and this is for both you guys, who is your favorite one, like to date? I mean, I know there's probably like a bunch, so no offense to anybody, but like one that like pops in your head that like that one.
I personally, I mean, I love all of them, but I love having comedians on just because I'm a jokester myself.
Yeah.
But for me, I think one of the top ones, and this is a hard one. It's probably like 3 top ones, but off the bat, I think it's my boy Ponchi Herrera. The first time he was on the pod, this guy's a comedian, man, and this guy is just naturally funny, dude, and just on mic even funnier.
I'll write that shit
Uncle
down.
Ponchi. That guy's a badass, and I'll tell you something real quick that happened on the pod. You always ask a comedian, like obviously when you find somebody that's a comedian and you ask them like, what's the first thing you think? Like, oh hey man, tell me a joke, like. So we asked him that, and he's like, yeah man, you know what I tell people, like when they tell me, hey man, tell me a joke, and he goes, how do you get a dog to stop pumping your leg? And then how? Like you pick it up and suck his dick.
Nah.
Like what the?
Oh,
this guy's the type of guy that's just like savage shit. Like
shit.
it's just, but it's
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
gonna use
moment.
that one next time someone asks me to freestyle.
Yeah, dude, that shit. Yeah.
I can't stand that shit, dude.
Yeah, man, it's fucking. I mean, it's hard, but that was for sure is one of my top.
That is hilarious, dude.
I would say I have like a top 5.
No,
I know. Okay, but I'll pick one from the top 5. But top 5, Austin Trout, definitely one. Ivan Melendez, the first one, just because I was like, it was just surreal to have that one. The Joanna Barbacoa interview from the producer from The Q.
Oh, right.
Absolutely hilarious, dude. Absolutely fucking hilarious.
By the way, it's an unfair question.
Right, but that one, dude, that episode is so fucking funny, bro. That shit was just like hilarious. So that's 3. 4, I would say. I mean, we've had Ponchi on like a bunch of times, so I'm gonna leave him out. But the Steven Puga interview the first time, and then number 5, I would say Richie Ryan, our first soccer player that we had on. Or yeah, and Richie Ryan has gone on to be like a locomotive legend, and he's actually a fucking he's gonna be a coach now. But I would say like one of the ones that is my favorite that means the most to me is the John Teicher one. For sure.
Who's that?
John Teicher's the voice of the Miners.
Oh
So
shit.
he's been the voice of the miners for over like 30 years. The
Oh,
guy's an absolute.
My bad.
fucking
I didn't know,
legend.
and I'm from here.
No. But it's like, to me, like I've grown up such a Miner fan that like that was like my Steph Curry interview.
Oh,
Because like I've
fuck.
grew up listening to him call games and like being like, hey, maybe I can do that. And to have him in the studio with us was like the shit. But there's a story behind that. Okay, so we're recording with John Teicher. He's pretty like straight up like, yo, I only got like an hour, like,
Oh shit.
you know what I mean? But I'm like, I understand, like this guy's got shit to do. Mid interview, like 40 minutes in,
Misa, put the beer down.
stupid ass Joe fucking flips the fucking power switch where all our shit is connected, everything. We lose power to everything, the computer, the roadcaster, everything. Mid 40-minute, like,
No.
right? I'm fucking tripping. I'm tripping, trying to keep everything like cool, and then in the process, like I'm trying to recover everything, and then I have Misa's
You're also
ass.
minors, huh?
No, Misa's trying to carry conversation here,
Okay.
right? And I can't leave him alone to carry conversation because the first thing he does is he calls John Teicher John Taffert, the fucking guy from Bar Rescue. And fucking, and then Teicher looks at him because this was when Misa was drinking.
I was about to say, was this?
He looks at Misa
okay.
and goes, "I think you've had one too many, bud," and tells him like that. And then he also throws out a line like, "I hope you're not gonna ask me to re-record all this because that's not gonna happen."
Ouch.
And so like I love that interview, but for the adversity and all the stupid shit, like there's a good story behind it. But dude, leaving this guy alone with a guest for a while is a bad idea.
Bro, what am I supposed to do? I'm the co-host, right? And Chris is over there busy with the camera and computer and shit. And I can't just leave John Teicher. I was about to say John Taffert. Fucking sitting there, you know?
He's
and
listening
then-
to this right now, motherfucker.
And then it's like we have our producer Joe in the room too, but he's busy in his fucking phone at all, 24/7. So I'm just carrying a conversation with him, and then fucking John.
Yo,
And
hey,
I
John.
told myself the whole time, like, and I even told these guys, like, yo, dude, I'm gonna have a hard time, like, trying not to say John Taffert instead of John Teicher, you know? And sure enough, it fucking happened. But thank God it wasn't while we were recording. But yeah, man, I fucked up bad. And it was like a fuck up, like a huge fuck up after a fucking huge fuck up. But dude, those are the best moments though too, man.
Compounded the fuck up. You like absolutely compounded it. Just fucking.
seasonings on that.
Yeah.
He's like, he
Salt
goes,
Bae.
he looks at Joe and goes, "Hey Joe, do you think you fucked up? I could do even better." And then that's exactly what he does.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, they hold my beer moment. Yeah, and I'm just there doing damage control, hoping this dude doesn't leave and hoping that our fucking Zoom file's saved.
Oh my god,
But
dude.
yeah,
But you know what?
But yeah, great episode though. My favorite, actually.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Right. This was your favorite.
Just to be able to get that one out, dude.
But that goes to
was
commend
crazy.
you guys again because it just tapped my brain right now. You guys have I don't know if it's the most recent video or the one before where there's no video.
Yeah. Our internet, or my internet at the crib, it just kept going out. We would record the video,
Fucking Spectrum.
and then fucking Spectrum. It would go for like 25 minutes, and then the fucking internet would go out, and we lost the file both times.
Yeah.
And that's never happened to us before, ever,
Shit.
dude, ever.
We've been lucky enough to like not have like that many like big major technical issues like we did with John Taffert Teicher, but and we've been lucky, bro. We've been like extremely lucky about little stuff like that. Like there's another time where we were recording or we had it set up, but Chris had forgotten to press record.
Oh.
And
Wait,
he
me
didn't tell us.
dio miedo, güey.
He didn't tell us until fucking like the last when we're already saying bye. He's like, "Oh, one more thing, guys. I didn't press record, so there's no video for this."
Oh.
But what can
That's
you
how
do,
you
man?
learn, man. That's
I
how you learn.
realized 45 minutes in we weren't recording.
Oh, you just kept it going?
Yeah, I couldn't stop. We were already halfway through. Like so, but I mean, you know, like those are expected. You know what I mean? Like that shit happens sometimes. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But
so many moving parts and shit. Like, obviously, we don't ever want that to be like the thing, but it does happen from time to time.
nah, but that's very commendable and props to you guys because when I saw that, I was like, oh, I could just imagine the finding out the fuck.
Dude, you can hear me like during the pod being like, "God fucking damn it, there goes the Zoom. I can see it."
Oh,
And like we ended the first half like all abruptly because the Zoom went out right away. So like we're now like, what the fuck now?
yeah.
But yeah, dude, it happens, and like I don't know what's up, but like with spectrum, but that was some bitch ass shit.
Yeah, fuck them. They take my money still.
Yeah.
But
I almost quit, but whatever.
that's very commendable though, because what stood out to me was the recovery. Well, not the recovery, sports wise, but like you guys just kept that shit going. Hey, you know what? We're gonna take a break, blah blah blah, whatever. But the whole video is like, yeah.
Well, when we started the second half, we had already, put it back together and everything was working right. And then it happened again halfway through the second half. So it's just like, fuck it.
Yeah, dude.
There's, I think there's probably been maybe like, I would say that I remember like a handful where we were like, all right, let's start over. Just because, like, just at the beginning, somebody made a noise, somebody opened the fucking door or some shit. And now let's start over. But other than that, man, like, there's really no, like, cutting through or, like, it's all straightforward. And sometimes you hear Chris fuck up at the beginning, and you hear me fuck up or press the wrong button and shit. But we leave all that shit in there,
That's
It's part
cool,
of it.
man.
It's fun. It makes it more real.
Yeah,
You
hell
know,
yeah.
like-
Hell yeah.
And it's fun too, I remember I fucking I don't know who it was, and I apologize, but he was saying something like meaningful and shit, and I fucking instead of pressing like the applause, I pressed the boo.
Oh
like,
shit.
fuck, like oh shit,
Something
but-
about airing your tires or something. Just
something like that.
Nah, dude, but that props, man, props. So who? This is for both of you too. Who is like? Who do you guys have your eyes set on? Like, that's the get right now. Like the biggest.
Oh man,
That's like
I
reachable,
think-
but like.
I mean, like, Aaron Jones. Obviously, I think he's probably the number one, like from El Paso. I think Crystal Poppins up there as well. For me, is Buzz Adams as well. I've
shit.
listened to Buzz Adams since I was young, so to have him, I think he'll be like my John Teicher.
Oh
you know,
really?
So, I'm still waiting to fucking have him on. But who else? Who am I missing, dude? I mean, obviously, I want Elon Musk eventually. Come in with a Tesla or some shit.
What the fuck?
Tesla truck.
So fuck the interview. You want him to give you a car?
Yes.
Interview in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, in the car.
No, he
Okay.
just wants a fucking car. That's all he wants. For sure, Aaron Jones. I mean, why not? Like, that's obviously the most like recognizable name from El Paso, from UTEP for sure.
Yeah.
And he's actually performing at a high level once again. So to be able to talk to him, someone like Will Hernandez. We had Quentin Demps on from UTEP. He was in the NFL too. So,
Mhm.
but I think just like for us, it's just like we just want to continue to build our fucking like our discography in a way. Like,
Yeah.
we just want to keep adding interviews, and like the more we add, like eventually, like we can get Khalid in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
there's like it's at some point we just have to pad the resume, and that's kind of what we're focused on.
That's so dope.
But yeah, I would say like Khalid, Aaron Jones, somebody along those lines.
That's so dope.
Christelle Poppin too. My wife's a big fan of hers.
Oh yeah.
I remember I performing at Frankie's East with her one time when back in the day when we were rapping. So to see her development's been great, and like obviously she reps the 915 hard, so that's awesome.
That's cool, man. And you guys help me because you guys are naming names left and right and shit that you've had that you guys want to have, and I'm like born and raised here, and I'm like, who? Like I don't even know these people that much. But again, that's another perk of having you guys around is like, hey, this week so and so, and I'm like, who's that? And then watch the episode, and then you find out.
I mean, like an
oh,
example
shit.
is like I've had people like I told them like I was excited to have Joe Dorgan on, right? So when I would tell people, hey, I'm having Joe Dorgan on, and they're like, who is that? But then when you tell them, hey, dude, Club 101, you never thought about who fucking runs that or who owns that. Like that's
Yeah.
a guy,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like so. In some sense, these people that like maybe they're not as big as like maybe an artist would be.
Yeah.
Like what they do or what they're involved with, everybody knows about.
Yeah,
That
hell
somehow
yeah.
it's something like, no shit, so that's the guy or that's that person, or
And
like
this is what he had to go
or like
through.
even if like you don't really see the news much and you see Estela Casas and you'd be like, hey, I've seen that lady before. It's like, hey, on the news, oh, that's right, like I see her all the time. And
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, you're gonna see her doing something and be like, hey, I saw them on Conversing with Christian Misa, like-
Exactly.
But-
very, very doable. Like visually, like to see that shit. Like,
Right.
come on. I grew up
right.
watching. Like, she's on the TV. Like, I
That
was.
was like the news.
Yeah, like, and now
Yeah.
it's like she's on a fucking podcast kicking it
Yeah.
with these guys. Like,
And we've had like, and also a lot of our guests like are up and coming, like what they're doing, like it's just interesting, or they have a really crazy backstories, not also like if they're super popular or
Yeah.
something. Like we want to bring, like if we meet somebody that has an amazing story or something, we want to expose that and get to know this person as well.
Yeah.
And most of it, I mean, it's all 915. That's what we're trying to rep. Eventually, of course, we if there's an artist coming through or Snoop Dogg coming through, maybe we could get him on the pod as well. But
Uncle Snoop.
Uncle Snoop, dude, that's my primo way actually.
Dude, that story that Joe Dorgan said that she was. I think I remember because while he was saying it, I was like, yeah, I remember hearing something about that shit. So that's fucking cool,
Yeah,
man.
Joe Dorgan. Shout out to him for sure.
Yeah, man. That was such an interesting get. Like I was like, what it like? I was like, the whole time I was like, oh shit. And he seems cool as shit too, man. Like
The other interview too that I'm super proud of is the Daniel Villegas interview. He was the guy that was wrongfully convicted of 2 capital murders.
holy
He
shit.
spent 20 years in prison before he was found not guilty. Yeah, he's from here, and all this shit happened. And like that interview to me is like, that shit's crazy because like his whole life was changed because like
Really?
some corrupt fucking shit within the police, and to be locked in fucking prison for 20 years and to come back out. Yeah,
Shit.
like this guy got a second chance at life, literally. So that's another great story.
Wow, dude. Nah, you guys, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, I can only reach so many people, but like, that's my point of like, this is why this is such a big deal for me, is because like you guys are doing like the work that we want to see done. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you're like, who else is gonna be doing this shit?
Yeah, what stories? Like who? Where else are these people telling these stories? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to do.
Like an idea that I've always thought too is like getting like an owner or like a family member from Chicos. Like Chicos is such a big thing. Everybody, whether
Have
you
you seen
love
the
it or
owner?
not, No, I've never like.
Parece el Buki.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I have. But see, like to have them here, like one of the most notable thing, like you can't talk about El Paso without mentioning Chicos. So
course
like
not.
we start thinking of like that, like it's just not artists or whatever. It's just anybody that we think would be interesting and yeah, like I said, man, it could be somebody that has no followers, doesn't, but just their story or whatever.
That's
It's
cool,
fucking
man.
dope.
That's cool. And again, props for putting in the work and caring and it's better to be productive in that way than to just be fucking off every day and scrolling and then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like so again to see that work put in by you guys, like all of you guys. I even feel like I know the guys behind the cameras when I'm watching the show
Yeah.
because it's like you guys all like call them out and shit, and it's just like that's cool. Like so, let me try to like how can I contribute? How can I like okay, well, let me be something that I want to see. You know what I mean? Just be productive,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Fuck, like
Yeah, I mean, there's still so much. Like, I mean, I've always had also ideas of like, maybe going out like vlogging. Like we have like our group of friends that we do this podcast with. If all of us are all together, man, we're gonna be talking about the pod, but we're gonna be fucking around. We're gonna have a good time. Even off the pod, the conversations that we just have, it's just like we've laughed about so much shit, So ideas of like vlogging, going somewhere, like
dope.
doing shit or doing a live show, stuff
damn it,
like
man.
that.
You
So
got my next question.
yeah, that's been a thing that we've talked about. I think I came up with the idea a while ago. This was like we were still in the garage, and I was telling
Really?
Chris like I was going out, dude, we could have this. Just imagine like interviewing Johnny Cage at like a bar,
Yeah.
like and everybody's listening. And Chris was like, whoa, you gotta make sure that you don't go 100 miles an hour. You gotta make sure that there's gas in the tank and there's air in the fucking tires before you keep going, And I was like, oh shit.
And he's like, I remember someone really great saying that shit, man.
But yeah, dude, it's
Fucking Gandalf from Lord of the Rings and shit, coming in with the wisdom, the white wizard.
That's cool. Yeah, that was my next question actually. Like how I mean, you guys kind of answered it with Joe, but like how close to reality is that for you guys? Like a live show? How often would you guys like have you guys ever actually like thought about it through and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, logistically, it's a challenge.
I bet.
It's a big logistical challenge. Like another thing that we think about too is that we want to be able to kind of like replicate the podcast in a live environment, but you have to account for so many factors.
Yeah.
And we don't want to like do anything like Misa said. We don't want to do anything half-ass.
Yeah.
So if that's something we're gonna do, like we're gonna have to have, it's probably something that we're not gonna be able to do by ourselves, like in house. So we're gonna need some help from some of the people that we know. But the production level is just another level that we haven't had to deal with yet.
Yeah.
But it's something that can easily be done if coordinated and everything gets like logistically done. It's good to know that we have at least 2 venues that we could pull this off at.
Yeah.
But I think what we need to see first is that we can pull it off to give the experience that we want. Like Misa said, we don't want to half-ass it, you know. But I would say by like April of 2023, like we should have like a live show in the works.
Wow.
For
And,
sure.
and that's good to know that you guys are taking it seriously too, not just like, yeah, fuck it, we'll fucking take this mics and whatever. the
Honestly,
fuck.
man, like I want to do this for a living if that's possible. You know, like if we could get to a point, where
Speak it.
like we're getting paid for it and we're doing fine, and we're gonna start selling
You
merch
hear that,
too. Like you just have to. I mean, once that happens, and hell yeah, man, like I'd be willing to leave my job for this anytime.
Dude.
And if we could get to that, and even if we don't, but if we get to a point where like we're comfortable, like I'm fine right now. Like the scheduling kind of sucks sometimes, with the wife and the kids and all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. That I think that for me is the number one goal, like to do this for a living for sure.
That's awesome, dude.
Like, I mean, to fucking if we could create as much as we do now. Now imagine if that was a full-time job.
Dude, I've said
like
the
just
same
the
thing.
content, the ideas that we would have, like it was just
Like imagine waking up and okay, what are we gonna do?
yeah. We
Like,
we show up,
From
we
the time
meet
you
up,
wake
and
up, and then that's how you end your day.
that would help us too. Like trying to maybe better the production. Maybe be better at editing. Take the time. Somebody could be editing. Somebody could be taking pictures and doing graphic art for a pod. And
Yeah.
there's so much that you could do to elevate your podcast or anything that you're doing. But it just takes time, obviously, right?
No,
and
you-
you have
you
to be
guys-
willing to do it.
And you guys will do it, man. I could definitely see you guys popping off, and because the work ethic is there. You know what I mean? The consistency's there. You guys care. You know
Chris
what I mean?
wants to be a soccer player
See it?
when he grows up.
Oh, around this time.
Yeah, I'm a professional FIFA player, bro. Like, straight up, like not even kidding. Like,
Dude,
homie,
you guys look so into it in that video. Oh man, you guys
it's
are
true,
like
dude. We're fucking going at it in that shit.
your eyes are like gleaming. Like, oh, dude, what'd you say? I'll do anything for you.
Dude, he said anything American, I'm there. Fucking
Yeah.
red, white, and blue. Like, I'm there. Fucking sign me up.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like,
great,
yeah.
though. Yeah, I mean, doesn't that just make you like fucking just like want to run through a wall? Like,
Yeah.
Just like that's my shit. Like,
And then I was like, how early?
dude,
God damn, man,
we
you
were
guys
there
are
at
fucking
7 in
crazy.
the morning.
Bro, somebody told me we're watching football. I get there, I was like, this is fucking soccer. Like, no, it's not, it's football. Shut that. But it was fun, dude. Whatever. Like, but I was thinking too, and we were being interviewed. We'd had Will on, the guy who interviewed us. We've had him on the pod as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we just happened to fucking run into him, and he was trying
Was
to
he
do
the guy
his
at the
story.
beginning of the video, like talking to
Yeah.
the camera?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no.
okay.
He's the guy that like during the video, he's like he has a suit and tie. And
Oh,
he's
okay,
fucking
okay.
Doing the news there.
Because the
but,
guy that introed the video, like,
Yeah, he
look,
kept falling all over his face.
yeah.
dude, he's all cracking up and
He
shit.
tried to say day drinking, and he was like fucking dying on the. He had a stroke mid fucking cast, and that's happened to me plenty of times. So I recognized it right away.
That was cool though, man. To see you guys pop up, I'm like, this shit really happened. Like,
Yeah,
oh
dude, for real.
fuck,
We
That
were
shit's
there.
dope. All right, so again, thank you guys for your time. And just one more question. I have one more. Where, again, for both you guys, what's the ultimate goal as far as the podcast goes? And you kind of already answered it.
Yeah, Misa kind of fucking hit the nail on the head there. I mean,
Chingao.
obviously, like we started this podcast kind of just kind of like with a wish like that we could do something with it. But now that we've seen like what we can accomplish, I think it just makes us want to work harder. But
Dope.
obviously, you'd want to be to a point like I would want this to be like the new like morning show in El Paso. Honestly, like that's like my vision is that like we're in a studio somewhere being taped video and audio, and like we're like on your fucking local TV somehow. But it's just like maintaining the El Paso integrity of the podcast, but also just like adding badass guests. Like that's the ultimate guest, like, or that's the ultimate dream is to have like fucking like, yeah, when Wiz Khalifa comes to Neon Desert, like the one place he stops in for a fucking an interview is with us. You know what I mean? That's like what the ultimate goal is. That's what I see. You know what I mean? But it's envisioned the same way throughout the team because we kind of all like talked about that. But at the same time, like, you know, we're just fucking we're just pushing it day by day and just like, let's just see where we go from here, you know?
God damn it, man.
And there's still so much that we can do, man. Like, don't get us wrong. We fucking slack it sometimes. You know, like we do. We all, like I said, we all have lives and shit like that. And, you know, some of us wake up crudos and some can't show up to the pod. And, you know, fucking Joe and somebody gets his back blown out, fucking blue. How the fuck? I'm still trying to figure out how the hell that shit happened. But he won't tell us. Like, oh, I don't remember. I woke up like this. Like, yeah, sure, buddy. But yeah, nah, man. It's just you just gotta want it, man. I think that's what it is, and we know what we want. We just have to keep doing it. You know? But again, not 100 miles an hour. You know, you gotta make sure you have gas in the tank
And air in the tires.
Look, this is the fourth time he said this shit. So that's when you know he's bro. No, that's when you know Misa's run out of material. All he's doing is playing the hits. He's just saying the same shit over and over. He's like, if I could use this once, I'm going to use it 4 times. That's what he's doing right now. I've recognized this.
4 tires.
We get it.
Aaron each tire. The 4th one.
Every tire needs to be properly inflated. 34 PSI. 32. Well, it's cold outside, so 34.
That is fucking hilarious, man. Well, I mean, thank you guys again for, you know, showing up, entertaining my idea. You know what I mean? Showing up, going through traffic. Sitting through this.
Shout out to Chewy, by the way, for fucking bringing us all the way over here.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Chewy. Yeah, man. Like, you guys have a fucking team. You want to talk about like teamwork? Like, this shit is so dope. Just to see, just again from the outside looking in, I'm just like marveling at it and like anything is possible. You know what I mean?
It is, dude.
And it's just like, thank you for everything. Thank you for sharing the mic.
Yeah, dude, no fucking problem. I mean, we've done this shit before. I mean. We know how it is, dude. I mean, we're not like fucking trying to like make it seem like we have it all the best. Like Misa said, like, you know, we all go through it. But the main thing is that, you know, like we're here trying to promote the podcast here, trying to support you guys. And, you know, that's the least we can do. And thank you again for fucking hitting us up to be on, man. Like, we really do appreciate it. Like Misa said, it's not it's not every day we get to be on this side of the microphone. It's a lot less stressful, I'll tell you that much. And it feels good to just be able to chop it up. So thanks again, man.
Nah, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
man.
definitely, dude. Thanks again. It's fun. It's fun, like, you know, having people interviewing us. Like, I mean, I don't know about the whole driving shit. Like, now I kind of think about like our guests and stuff, you know. But I'm glad. But that's just now makes me think like now we have to make sure that, you know, they enjoy themselves there and that they're gonna want to come back.
Dope.
You know,
God damn, man, you guys are like athletic mentalities and
I
shit.
mean, and props to you, bro. What you're doing here, man. Like I said earlier, bro. Like if you're just starting now, man, you're fucking way ahead from where we're at, and we're fucking we'll support you, bro. Thanks for fucking being a fan and watching.
Hey, man.
We appreciate it, especially how, you know, we just don't know each other. It's not through friends or anything like that. It's always good to meet people. I've met a couple of people like, you're the guy from the pod, eh? And I was like, yeah, dude, it's putting gas right now. But anyways, but thanks again, man. I appreciate you, dude. Thanks again, everybody listening, or, you know, thanks. Don't forget to follow us, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast.
Yeah, tell them your social medias again.
Yeah, IG, Conversing with Chris and Misa. Same on Facebook. TikTok is Conversing with Chris and Misa podcast. The Chris and Misa podcast. You can follow me on Misa Shisha too. That's MISACHICHA.
Number 2.
And then the number 2. And then you can follow Chris at Conversing with Chris. But thanks again, man. I appreciate you, dude. You stay fresh, my man.
Hey, man. Thank you. And really quick, I thought that you put the number 2 because you thought you were the shit. That was my reasoning behind the number 2.
Now it is.
No, that is. Yeah, that's exactly why he did
I was
it.
like, look at this cocky motherfucker.
Yeah. Misa doesn't know why he does things sometimes. And then it all comes
apparently.
back. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's
I'm going to hit
right.
stop right now, and then he's just going to like, oh.
Yeah. But yeah, and
Something about
also
4
like
tires.
last thing, just thanks for bringing out the most inspirational quote ever from this guy. He's never 100 and something episodes, never said anything cool like that ever. And like, I'm glad he wasted it and said it on your podcast and not ours. So how about that?
Well, thank you,
Just-
thank you to you guys. Thank you guys for listening.
That shit's funny.
Fucking
Misa, dude.
You know how this shit goes, man. Well, actually, don't forget to subscribe to them, listen to them. I'll be dropping everything in the description. That way, you guys can check these guys out, man. They're a big inspiration. I would even call them entrepreneurs because that's how I see them. Big inspiration again. And that's it for the Puras Pendejadas podcast. I am Rob D, and I'll be dropping this shit whenever the fuck I want to. All right, later.
See ya. Did it tell Cell? No, tell Cico.